year, I was going to take another year. It didn't have to be the NIL era. And I respect that, right? I think a lot, especially in basketball, there's a lot of guys that as soon as they step foot on campus are counting the days until they can get out of there. And then a lot of guys end up, 2-3 years from then in the G League, playing for the Mud Ants, and they're going, probably would be pretty fun if I could have stayed in college and enjoyed that a little bit more and kind of, stayed where my feet were at that time. And Bacot seems like he has that kind of outlook. And you may say, oh, well, he was never going to be a first-round pick. Has not stopped a lot of people from going to the NBA. And college basketball is littered with potential game changers that left to be a second-round pick. So last night, it was all good for UNC. It was all airy. It was all light. Everyone played well. RJ Davis had his moment. I mean, there's something to be said for just being ahead by enough, and they were ahead by plenty. To go ahead and take your seniors out with 3 minutes left and let them soak in the cheers. It's
the curtain call.
Yeah, a close game. You got to play your guys, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you lose the close game, they never really get that moment. And senior nights are weird. I say this, it's something, kind of a mantra I live by around college sports, which is it doesn't matter how much applause you have on signing day. It matters how much applause you have on senior day. And there were a lot of guys for North Carolina that had quite the applause on senior day, which is what you can be proud of, right? You earned that. The hype gets you all the likes on social media on signing day. Mm-hmm. Ooh, a 4-star, a 5-star signed. Whoa, welcome to the fam for other schools down the road. Welcome to the brotherhood. Everybody gets really excited. But on senior day, that's on what you've earned and what you've done. And I think UNC really celebrated that in a rightful way last night against Notre Dame.
I was thinking what Bacot said about – because here's something that people don't realize, may not know, just kind of behind the scenes, is that when Bacot talks to the media on home games, he sits in the same spot every single time.
Yep.
And it's
half a decade.
Literally for half a decade. But it's something that, like, you as a college athlete, like, you get familiar with that. Like, that's part of your routine. It's like, man, I'm not going to sit in this spot anymore. There's the little stuff like that that realize I'm not going to do that again either.
This whole segment was about UNC. I made a reference to Duke and the Brotherhood. Mm-hmm. Here's my reference to NC State. There is a song by NC State superfan, may even be an alum, Scotty McCreery, country guy, where I think he's singing about high school, but it's next time I get in here, I'm going to have to buy a ticket, which is like the realization that every athlete has. Like, now, Bacot will probably never have to buy a ticket.
Probably not.
But there is that moment where it's like, next time I'm here, I'm not a player. Right? Next time I'm here, I don't walk through the tunnel of high fives coming out for the game. Next time I'm here, they're going to show me on the Jumbotron. I'm going to wave. Everybody's going to get real happy, and I don't even have to score a bucket to do it. It's like next time I'm in here, everything is different, and that's the emotion of senior day. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Think of how different it's going to be when, let's say, you pull up to PNC Arena as opposed to just your normal old car. Imagine rolling up on a custom Hurricanes Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tigers. The Law Tigers, Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, your Carolina Hurricanes. They're all teaming up together. They're giving away to an ultimate Canes fan, a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's going to be given away live on the ice on April 5th. So we're actually less than a month away. So if you haven't entered yet, go to caniacsbike.com. Again, caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom painted beauty of a motorcycle. It's absolutely gorgeous bike. I wish I could win it, but you can. Again, just go to caniacsbike.com for your chance to win the 3rd annual Caniacs Bike. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with Canes trade talk. The trade deadline is on Friday, and we're going to look at this from the other side. We all have ideas on who they should go trade for, right? Trade deadline. Gimme. There's a flip side to that coin. Who is expendable on the Canes right now that you'd be willing to send out for that dream prospect or player of yours? That's coming up next right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Hi, this is Renee Chu. The most trusted local news in the Triangle is now on the radio, WRL News Plus. Now get breaking news and severe weather reports on the radio 24 hours a day. Listen on the radio at 96.5 FM in Durham, 99.3 FM in Raleigh, and everywhere in the Triangle at 101.5 HD3.
New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Set a reminder for March 11th because that's when you can turn $10 into $100 of bonus bets with Bet365. Just download the app, deposit $10, and claim $100 in bonus bets when they go live March 11th. Sounds good, right? At Bet365, they don't do ordinary. And you're about to find out why, North Carolina. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T's and C's apply.
This is the time of year to enjoy life, isn't it? Everything's starting to bloom. Well, stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Adam Gold here, and this is a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb and play and do anything you want pain-free. No pain pills, no surgery, all natural solutions. Live your best life this spring and summer. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 919-400-5473. 919-400-5473. 4 locations: Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. QC Kinetics.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 4/6. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NHL trade deadline is Friday. about 48 hours from right now. Not a lot of sleeping happening in front offices across the NHL, especially for teams on either end of the spectrum, right? Teams that think they have a chance to go win it all, and teams that think we need to transfer any bit of assets or legit pieces we have into prospects and players and build for the future. The Canes are on one of those spectrums. They're on one of those ends. They think they can win it all. They should. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They've been building towards it. So, of course, they're involved in trade conversations. Of course, they're involved in trade rumors. Tarasenko went to the Florida Panthers today. Canes were mentioned for them. Elias Pettersson signed a long-term deal with the Canucks. Canes were mentioned for him. You can go on and on and on and on and on to just about everybody that's moving or everybody that could possibly move. And it seems like in the articles discussing it, it's always like teams that could be interested. Carolina. They're always involved. But here's what they always do. They say all of the players that Carolina should want, right? And we do it as well. Gosh, how awesome would it be to have a right-handed center, second liner? How awesome would it be to have just an absolute goal-scoring sniper? How awesome would it be to have an established, trustworthy veteran goalie? How awesome would it be to turn We do all of this talking, but we rarely do the hard part, which is, well, what would you be willing to give up, right? Because if you're like me, right, and this is, I think most of us, we're like, I want this. And then they go, great. Will you give us that? Oh, no. Couldn't part with that. Will you give us that other thing? No. That's my favorite. I can't give up my favorite. Well, how about that? Absolutely not. I'm not giving that up. And then by the end, you're like, oh, I guess I don't really want that thing because I'm not willing to part with anything from my roster. So who would you trade? Notice I didn't say who would you trade for. Who would you trade? And no cheating with saying guys on expiring contracts, right? You are the team buying at the deadline, not selling rentals to other contenders. So don't sit there and say, well, I could part with this guy who might only be on the roster for another handful of months anyway. Who are you willing to trade? And okay, let's give you the free bingo squares. Martin Necas and Tony DeAngelo.
Some people might not be willing to trade Necas.
The reason why I say they're the free bingo squares is because they're always the assumption of what you're going to – if you're buying kind of a pure depth piece, well, maybe Tony DeAngelo. And if you're buying something that's a little bit more high priced, you're always like Martin Necas and who? Necas, a first-rounder, and who? You'd move Kotkaniemi. I think that one is one that people would understand. But do you know what's frustrating about that? I think that's like a sell low move, right? If you wait a handful of months, if you wait a handful of games, who knows? He might connect on something that ends up being a real value booster for him. I'm gonna bring up a name that Dennis brought up the other day. Would you move Stefan Nason? Would you move Jesper Fast? These are guys where you've built up a relation with them. We talked about this when it comes to the Panthers. Dave Canales, in a interview with the Combine, he's the new coach of the Carolina Panthers, said, my advantage is I don't have any emotional connection to these guys. Right? My advantage, Dave Canales' advantage is he didn't know them. He doesn't have a relationship with them. He doesn't feel like he owes them anything. He didn't use those words. I did. But that's what he was getting at. The Canes don't really have anybody they're not emotionally connected to. You can't trade Necas without thinking about all the good times. You can't trade Jesper Fast without thinking about all the good times. You can't trade Fast without going like, Martin Nuckstall and Fast, come on. MSF, come on. That's the line right there. Sure, you'd be willing to move a goalie. Which one? Could you agree on that one? What about a younger guy? Would you trade Jack Drury? After we've done segments on this show about how you have to give your flowers to Jack Drury, about how he's an unsung hero of this team. Now I've asked all those questions. I'm going to flip it one more time. We're all about flipping it today. We're like an optical illusion, right?
Okay.
You know how they put up the picture and you're like, if you see a duck, you're left-brained. If you see a wolf, you're right-brained or whatever they are. This one, is, if you're looking at it and thinking, God, we're going to flip it on you. Who's untouchable? A difference maker, right? Maybe somebody like Gensel. Maybe somebody better becomes available. Who's untouchable? Who in your brain are non-starters, right? Somebody calls up, hey, got a goal scorer. Exactly what you're looking for. Right-handed. Exactly what you're looking for. Center. Face-off guy. Exactly what you're looking for. Under contract for 2 more years. Exactly what you're looking for. What names could they then say that'll make you hang up? If they go, exactly what you're looking for. Aho, click.
Yeah, bye.
Exactly what you're looking for. Svetch, oh.
Bye.
Thought that call was going to be more interesting. Turns out it's over. What about Jarvis?
Bye.
What about Slavin?
Nope.
What about Kochetkov? Is there anyone outside of those 5? I'm be honest. Those are the 5 I had. And I think for different reasons, Stahl, just because he's Stahl. For different reasons, maybe 1 or 2 other guys. But when it comes to roster building, I have 5 names. Aho, Svetch, Slavin, Jarvis, Kochetkov. And do you know what is really frustrating? I think for me, as somebody who believes in when you see an opening, you go for it. As like my outlook on building a team is if you think you can win a cup, you go for it. I think it's easier for me to name guys that are untouchable. For the Canes, I think it's reverse. I think there's maybe 15 guys, if you say their name, they're like, no thanks, click. You have to be calling interested in a very specific piece for them, and that is very frustrating to me. Because the roster is good. The roster is not unbelievable, right? This is not a dream team. They are very much a contender. They are not very much a favorite. And I believe in going all in for the favorite. I would list those 5 guys and say, hey, everybody else we could at least have a conversation about. There are a few that if I have the conversation, I'm going to end the conversation by saying, hey, if we don't get this deal done and you go out there leaking that I was willing to trade this guy, I will deny it to my death and call you a liar on television. Mm-hmm. But we can talk about it. Let's have this conversation.
Here's one thing you have to take into consideration with any one of these moves. How much does it mess up the room? That is one of the most tight-knit locker rooms I've ever been around as the Carolina Hurricanes. And if you make a big move where you drastically take away multiple pieces that are in your locker room right now to bring someone in, how do you affect the chemistry in the room? Because that is a real thing.
I agree. I do. I also would rather here's my philosophy, and this is where I think we're different, right? There I like our guys, which is fair. That you can say that, you can believe it. Yeah. I like our guys, the culture, we've built it. We built it from scratch. If you look at Waddell and Rod Brindamore, they're darn near looking at a house they built with their bare hands from the ground up. And I'm saying what if you knocked down the left side and rebuilt a wing with an indoor pool? And they're like, no, we do you realize how much work went into building this house? Mm-hmm. And I get it, but I think high risk, high reward, right? The high reward is if you pick the right new infusion of energy, if you pick the right new infusion of talent and energy, you can send yourself to a Stanley Cup win, right? The risk is if you try to do that, you try to pick the right guys and you don't, you can end up with a big problem on your hands, and that would be factions in the locker room, guys that don't get along. I think it's a risk worth taking to dramatically increase your chances of winning. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here, and I've teamed up with my friends over at Underdog Fantasy to help you play like a champion. And to be a champion, you must play like one. Here are some tips to help you to stay safe while gaming. have a game plan going in. Create a budget that you can afford to lose, and you stick to it. But also remember, gaming, it's all about having fun. It's about the entertainment. When we watch our favorite teams, we watch the Carolina Hurricanes or an NBA game or college basketball game, it adds entertainment, it adds fun, and adds even an added rooting interest to what we're doing. But if gaming no longer is fun for you, it's important that you seek help when necessary. I've used Underdog Fantasy. Yeah, I've won some money for it, but you know what? It was a lot of fun in terms of just rooting for different guys to score higher than certain points or whatever it might be. It added that extra value, and I also made sure I stayed within my means while doing so. Now you are ready to play like a champion. This message has been brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back in just a couple of minutes with Cons and Cons. What are we most confident in? What are we most concerned about when it comes to the 4 teams from the state of North Carolina right here in the ACC? Cons and Cons coming up next.
This is Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending in Cary, with 2 exciting announcements. Back in 1950, my father and uncle moved to Detroit and opened Miller Brothers Realty, a business they ran for the next 50 years. Fast forward to 1996, and I moved my family to Raleigh and opened D&J Mortgage, a company I'd named after my children. And today I'm happy to announce my sons Daniel and Justin will be leading Miller Lending as we head towards 100 years in real estate and lending, all the while following the one basic principle I learned growing up in that environment. Always treat your customer as you'd want to be treated yourself. Now, while Miller Lending has long been associated with our popular no closing cost program, I'm also excited to announce the opening of our purchase money division with a strong emphasis toward helping first-time homebuyers navigate the mortgage process. So whether you're buying a new home or simply refinancing the home you're in, call Miller Lending and experience the benefit of working with a locally owned family business. In Cary, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. And it's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
KFC's new smashed potato bowl is out here looking like an absolute snack. For just $3.49, you get crispy secret recipe fries topped with creamy mashed potatoes, cheese sauce, bacon crumbles, and even more melty cheese. If you're looking to smash your hunger, grab KFC's new smashed potato bowl for just $3.49. And for a little extra, add nuggets to the mix. It's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tip, and fees extra.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
New to the area? Let me be the first to welcome you. I'm Marcy Bailey of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. We've been family owned and part of North Carolina since 1948. We have a tradition of being voted the best jewelry store with an unparalleled selection of designer jewelry, fine diamonds, engagement rings, watches, and gifts to commemorate all your special occasions. We look forward to sharing our award-winning service and stunning jewels with you. Visit us today in store or at BaileyBox.com to see why every woman wants a Bailey box.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Earlier I asked you, what do you want to talk about? And you said everything, but you want to get more specific than just everything.
I want to talk about the gutter helmets because last time I was here, I remember you saying your wife made you get in a bucket of a tractor to clean out gutters. I'm hoping you have our gutter helmets.
Well, not yet. But,
all right. Well, I'm coming to see you.
All right. Well, the bucket of the tractor is perfect for me. I just fit right in it. It's very cool.
Well, we do sell gutter helmets. We can come out to your home and do an assessment of your gutters. If your gutters are in good shape, you could use your gutters and we can put the gutter helmet right on your existing. But if they're in bad shape or you've got rotten, deteriorated wood, we can also handle all that as well. So just give us a call. We'll come out and do an assessment of your gutters and get you some pricing and right on the spot.
Everything for the exterior of your home, and you don't do anything for the bucket of our tractor, correct?
I will get in it with you to help you install the new gutter helmet.
There's only room for me in the bucket of the tractor. That's Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You find him at aluminumcompany.com.
Two of country music's finest, Justin Moore. Somebody else will find out. Randy Houser. The Country Round Here Tonight Tour. Ones that didn't make it back home. Friday, September 6th, Red Hat Amphitheater, Raleigh. Come on now, we're running out of moonlight. On sale Friday at livenation.com. He can't even pay to hug. Justin Moore, Randy Houser, live.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. ACC basketball, full swing. Heading towards the ACC tournament, which starts next week. Which is a bold time to run Cons and Cons. What are we most confident in? What are we most concerned about when it comes to the four teams in the ACC from the state of North Carolina as they head into their most important portion of the season? If they're in the tournament, it's all about seeding. If they're on the outside looking in at all the bracketologists' NCAA tournament predictions, it's all about, can you win the conference tournament? Can you bracket bust? Can you shock the world? So let's look at confidence and concern, starting with Wake Forest, who is off the podium this week. I'll lead off. What are we confident in when it comes to Wake Forest?
Are we doing confidence first?
Not
the bad news?
That may be a hint to what my confidence is.
Okay, fair enough.
I am confident they're going to disappoint me.
Wow.
I was out on them.
I thought you quit on them, though. How are you disappointed?
I did. That's why I'm confident in it. That's why it's not a negative. I got out at the right time. I got out on Wake Forest because for most of the season, I was confident that they were going to put it together. I was confident in their starting five. I was confident in their stretch big. I was confident in how deep the roster was once Efton Reed was made eligible. I was confident in so much. I was confident in their three shooters on the perimeter. And then they would lose a game they shouldn't. And then they would lose a game they shouldn't. And they'd win. And then they'd lose a game they shouldn't. And finally I said, I'm out. And when I said I'm out, when I quit Wake Forest, guess what they did almost immediately?
Started winning.
They beat Duke. And they stormed the court. And they sparked a national debate. And it was all because they beat a top 10 team in the country. But I stuck to my guns. I said, no, I'm out. I already said I'm out. I'm out. Which is why, then, now that they've gone 0 for 3 since storming the court against Duke, and they lost 2 bad ones on the road, and now 1 bad one to Georgia Tech at home, I'm pretty confident this was going to happen. This is why I quit you. So I'm confident that they will disappoint me. Luckily, I was already out, so my disappointment is mitigated. I'll just give you my concern since I'm all out of order here.
Yep.
My concern is them playing under pressure. And what I mean by that is their last 3 games have been quintessential. Like, hey, our NCAA tournament started earlier than everybody else. We have to win these games to stay in the NCAA tournament, right? Look at them as winner-go-home games. And they lost, and they lost, and they lost. So I'm going, maybe they're not built for the tourney. Maybe they're not built for playing games with added stakes. Maybe they're not built for playing games that feel like if you lose, you go home. Maybe they're not built for those games. That's my concern. Dennis, pick your order, confidence and concern.
My concern is actually similar to yours. Like, what's their headspace right now? Because, like you mentioned, since they stormed the court after beating Duke, 0-3. 2 of those losses on the road, and teams that they're well above in the standings.
Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech.
Teams are well above in the standings. And it's starting to, I don't want to say starting to, it's been a concern, obviously, them on the road, but the fact that we're at home, we can take care of business here, that'll help us, give us a little momentum going into the final game of the season, which is also at home. Hey, win these last 2, you might, again, solidify yourself in the NCAA tournament. And then they get down 19.
Last night was very
down 19.
Very from the outside, right? And we didn't talk to them at a timeout. It seemed like a quintessential you overlooked your opponent game, right? They woke up eventually, came storming back, had a lead late, but there's no excuse for being down 14 at half. There's no excuse for finding yourself down 19 to Georgia Tech other than you started poor. You started off on the wrong foot because you didn't think it was even possible you'd be down that much. You're the better team, and you thought you'd be able to. It's again, the symptoms of a classic overlook are there. Did you give your confidence?
I have not. My confidence when it comes to Wake Forest is Hunter Salas, just that guy. Like Hunter Salas, I know, it's interesting when they were down 19, when things started to turn around, it was Hunter Salas was really that helped turn things around. So it's when he's going, that team can go.
He's been my confidence at time this season. I'm not as right now. Last 3 games.
It's hard to find a confidence in a team.
That's
I
why.
love their lineup, and their skill is so good. I know Cam Hildreth is playing through a wrist injury that he should have surgery on.
He was on the bike. He kind of jogged to the tunnel. He's going through, I think, multiple injuries.
Yeah, he's going through a lot of stuff. Tough dude. I mean, the guy should have surgery and not playing right now probably on his wrist, but nonetheless, the guy's still playing through it. But that is, their talent individually is so good. It's just for some reason when it comes to these big moments, I don't know what's in their headspace. That's it. So it's hard to really truly find a confidence when it comes to them.
North Carolina State, confidence and concerns. We have good news and bad news. Give me the bad news first. That's always what you say. I'll go concern. This one can be written in Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
Roles and rotation. Jaden Taylor for 3-4 games was their second best offensive weapon. Barely played in their most recent game against Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Barely played. It's almost not even a meritocracy. It's not even if you play well, you get minutes. It seems to be completely reactive. You're looking at the other team's roster and you're shaking up everything you're doing, which is college basketball players are streaky anyway. If you have a guy who's streaking in the right direction, ride that wave, right? If Taylor's finding his offense, don't go, oh, darn, we're playing a team where, we don't need the extra guard, so Taylor's not going to play. No. He had 20-plus in 2 of his previous 3 or 4 games, and he's shooting it well. Find a way to get him on it's a meritocracy. He on his own merit put him in the game. DJ Burns, got to get my DJ straight. DJ Burns wasn't playing a bunch. Now against Duke, play him a ton. Which, offensively, he played great.
Oh, yeah.
But all those rotations on defense that were being lost, rebounding is something you can be in rhythm for, right? When you play a lot, when you're getting big minutes often, you have that, the legendary clip from The Last Dance with Dennis Rodman where he's talking about rebounding and he used to watch people warm up and see where they were missing and how the ball came off the rim. And he started, should I do a Dennis Rodman impression?
Sure.
Where I'm like, over there. If you've seen the clip, you know what I'm talking about. He just kept clicking and pointing and clicking and pointing and saying that's how he rebounds. But you get into those. Sorry, that made me giggle. Dennis Rodman's a wild character. What am I supposed to do with that? You get into the rhythms where you're seeing it well. DJ Burns hadn't been playing much. Now he's out in the game and he's getting out rebounded, and part of that is because he's out of a rhythm, right? Even though offensively he got in rhythm, everything else in his game looked out of rhythm. The roles and rotation for that team are just so hard to predict. Outside of DJ Horn's going to play a bunch. Pretty much everything else game to game is I don't know. Could play 35 minutes, could play 12. I'll figure it out when coach says get in or check out. Dennis, what's your concern?
My concern is, have they checked out? Because here's the thing. Going into senior day, you're going to be invested into that because it's your last ride at home. But it's like, hey, we're not going to make the NCAA tournament unless you win it out. But right now, if they lose against Pitt, there's a chance that they're playing on Tuesday. You got to win Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's like, no, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get to the offseason. I'm just like, some people might be ready for it to end, and you know what? That's a real human thing.
I'm gonna give them a compliment. I haven't felt that. I haven't seen that. I've seen them playing poor. Like, I've seen them playing bad.
Yeah.
I've seen them maybe not executing at a high level, but I haven't gotten the vibe that they're over it. It feels like they still get mad when they lose, which is actually maybe a testament to them because they've lost 10 games in conference this year. So it's like you have reason to check out, but it doesn't feel like they have. So there's a little bit of side confidence because that's not my actual confidence. My actual confidence is Mo Diarra's development. The guy's knocking down threes now.
Yeah.
I feel like every couple of weeks we learn that guy can do something new. It's like, there was the moment where it's like he's the best rebounder on the team. He's not playing big minutes. Then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, he can guard the pick and roll a little bit. Look at him. He got a little lateral movement, little lateral quickness for switching out onto a perimeter player. Oh, look at this. He's defending the rim. Now he's shooting threes. Mo Diarra every 3 weeks is like, oh, you guys want to see something? Look what else I can do. Which is kind of fun, but also kind of like, why didn't you tell us that earlier? I feel, ready for this movie reference? I feel a bit like Harry Dunn in the cinematic classic Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yes.
When they've been on the little moped for however many hours in the freezing cold, and he's talking about how cold his hands are, and then Lloyd Christmas is played by Jim Carrey. Goes, oh, great, take my extra gloves. And he's
hands are getting kind of sweaty.
You had extra gloves this whole time? I'm looking at Mo Diarra like, you shoot the three this whole time?
Yeah, Harry, we're in the Rockies.
Yeah, the ACC needs stretch bigs. It's like, why didn't you do that earlier in the year? Maybe it's because he wasn't been given the opportunity or the green light or whatever. But Mo Diarra's development is my confidence.
My confidence is actually DJ Horn. It's not just what he does offensively. I really like the way he plays on the defensive end of the floor. So oftentimes we saw in the game Monday against Duke that they were using Jared McCain, trying to run him off multiple off-ball screens. And DJ Horn was fighting through all that stuff and trying to still close out on Jared McCain. Just his motor, like, the dude never gets tired. For all the minutes that he plays, the dude never slows down. So to me, it's his competitiveness, not just when the ball is in his hands on offense, but just his willingness and ability to compete on the defensive end of the floor. And the dude, like I said, never wears down. To draw that tough assignment of, you got to chase Jared McCain around the floor, you know what? He's like, give it to me. I'll take it.
I love guys that take personal challenges on defense.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's got hype? Watch what I can do with him. Oh, he's a freshman. I'm a fifth-year senior. Let's go, young blood. You reach, I teach. Like, full Uncle Drew. Full Michael Jordan to Michael Jordan in that legendary commercial where he's playing one-on-one with himself.
Yeah.
And then the UNC version shows up at the end. Like, can I get next? That's what I like to see out of a veteran against a young guy. North Carolina, UNC, silver medalist this week. My concern, I have to be honest.
Okay.
Took me a while. They've got a lot going in the right direction right now. Vibes are immaculate. Baycott's playing well. RJ Davis seems to be in a good headspace. You know how much we like Harrison Ingram around here.
Love Harrison.
Cormac Ryan seems to be fitting into his role nicely. Withers, Washington, and Trimble make a nice little group off the bench. There's a lot of good for UNC. My concern is what happened to them after the Duke game last time. Because if you remember, going into the Duke game previous, they came off one loss right before. But prior to that, they had a 10-game win streak. Everything was going in the right direction. RJ Davis was on fire. The team was up to number 3 in the country. It was very much vibes were immaculate. They beat Duke. handily. I think they controlled that game, and then there was the letdown for the 3 or 4 games after. So now, once again, right near the beginning of the Duke game, vibes are immaculate. Everything's high. Everything's going well. And then they're going to play Duke. And if they have a letdown after the Duke game, it's not just, oh, that's a rough 4-game stretch in the regular season. It's, oh, that's the ACC and NCAA tournament. So my concern, with the full acknowledgement that there's not much to be concerned about, is just what happened after the Duke game last time, and knowing after the Duke game this time, the stakes are much higher than they were when we did this earlier in the year. What's your concern, Dennis, for the Tar Heels?
I love Harrison Ingram. We know this. But one thing that is actually
amorphous blob.
Put all those on t-shirts. The one thing that actually of his game that actually has slowed down a little bit looking at it over the last 6 or 7 games has actually been his 3-point shooting percentage. Like, for example, yesterday, 1 of 8. Against NC State, 2 of 5, which is good. But Miami, 1 for 5. Virginia, 0 for 1. Virginia Tech, 0 for 4. So, like, his 3-point shooting, actually, from a percentage standpoint, has actually slipped a little bit over the last several games. So that's the one thing that's a little bit concerning. But we obviously know that on any given day, it can pop right back up. But it is a little bit of a trend where his 3-point shooting has dipped a bit.
Is it fair to say that we both had to reach for that one?
Yeah, that's really it. I mean, it's like, okay. Yeah, but the dude's still pulling down double-digit rebounds and blocking shots and all that other stuff. So,
1.5 steals a game. Like, he's doing a little bit of...
exactly. So he's doing just fine. I know. I get it. But nonetheless, it's still like that is part of his game, though, especially if they go with a big lineup where he's playing the 3. You want him to be able to still consistently be able to shoot outside.
My confidence, ready for this, is their confidence.
Okay.
They seem like when they walk on the floor, they're getting to the point where they truly believe they're the baddest team in the gym. And that is a weapon, right? That is, we're down 6, cool. We're not going to panic. We're the baddest team in the gym. We're up 6, cool. Let's bury them. We're the baddest team in the gym. There's an intimidation, whether it's felt, whether it's subconscious, whether it's, verbal and spoken, of you're playing a team that is just completely comfortable with what they're doing and what they're trying to do. And it's starting to feel that way for them. So my confidence is their confidence. That's like confidence inception here on Cons and Cons.
Not sure what to make of this.
Yeah, there you go. We're dream sequences. Dennis, what are you confident in with the Tar Heels?
My confidence with them is that everyone understands their role. And we talked about just a moment ago with NC State, like no one knows what their rotation is. No one knows what their role is going for. Carolina, everyone knows their role. Everyone's bought into the role. And there's versatility with their lineup if they want to go with 2 bigs along with Harrison Ingram, so go play bigger. I mean, heck, if they really wanted to, if they needed to go small ball, they really could. But they don't. And they have the bigs where they don't really need to do that. Everyone knows their role and is bought into it. They have the versatility in the lineup to play against anybody. Everyone's bought in. Everyone knows exactly what they're doing going into the game.
As long as Baycott doesn't get confused by going 2 for 2 from 3 on senior night and thinks all of a sudden he's Richard Seymour Hoffman and along came Polly just going, make it rain! Teardrop!
I mean, unless you're going to do it, I guess,
Duke, what are you concerned about? I'll get it started. Post defense, especially going into the UNC game. If you remember, last time these two squared off, Armando Baycott actually hadn't really exploded yet this year. And then against Duke, he went 25, 10, and 5. And from that point on, he's been one of the better players in the ACC.
Yeah.
Harrison Ingram, another big night. There we go.
Had to restart it.
Confidence.
Harrison Ingram also had a big game in that one, mostly down low rebounding, also knocked down a bunch of threes. But
Duke had over 20 points in that game, too.
Duke has to have a better plan for the down low against UNC. So post-defense, especially going into the UNC game.
To me, it still concerns about their depth with Caleb Foster not being available right now. We don't know when he's going to return. It could be during the ACC tournament. It could be during the NCAA tournament. I think if you're Duke, you're eyeing, obviously, NCAA tournament because you know you're going to be there. But it's the rotation. Okay, you have the 3 guys in the backcourt now with Proctor, McCain, and Roach. We're seeing TJ Power get a little bit of playing time. We're seeing Sean Stewart get a little bit more playing time. Okay, you've added a couple of other guys into the mix. How much of that can they actually handle? You know Caleb Foster can handle it. But when it comes to crunch time, Are you just going to roll with your starting five? Is that it? Like, how much do you trust Sean Stewart right now? How much do you trust TJ Power right now? So that's my one concern. Super talented team. Like, it's stupid the level of talent that they have. But the amount of minutes that some of those guys like Stewart and Power, or the lack of minutes they played this season, was a little concerning to me.
I saw this argument made about Jaden Daniels versus Drake Maye, where Jaden Daniels is in many of the mock drafts going above Drake Maye. And I saw the argument being Jaden Daniels showed up late, so he hasn't had the scrutiny that he hasn't gone through the scrutiny that Drake Maye has, because Drake Maye was a projected top 5 pick for 26 months, and Jaden Daniels has become a projected top 5 pick like 3 months ago. So there just hasn't been enough time to poke and prod. I feel kind of that way with Sean Stewart. I'm really confident in Sean Stewart at Duke playing 15, 17 minutes in an ACC game for Duke. And I think it might just be because he really hasn't played that much, and he just kind of entered into the chat with Caleb Foster's injury a couple games ago. Maybe I haven't prodded and poked enough, but I think Sean Stewart's ready for the moment.
He might be.
And I'm completely open to, like, warts are going to show. You just haven't had time to find them yet. Confidence for Duke, for me, it's Jared McCain's feel for the moment. Yep. He's willing to step into big shots. He's willing to pull up in transition 3. When a dagger is available, he's more than comfortable going after the dagger to put the other team out of their misery. And that's pretty darn cool for a freshman in an environment like Duke. What do you got?
My confidence for Duke, I think this is the most cohesive we've seen this team all season long. In terms of, like I mentioned a moment ago with North Carolina, like everyone buying into the role, everyone has the role. I think Duke really is established. And I think one thing they mentioned this in the broadcast, I think it was the game, I can't remember which game it was. It was the game they played on Saturday.
This past Saturday?
This past Saturday.
UVA.
UVA, yes, the UVA game. Basically 33% of their games this season, one of like their main guys has missed a game. So, like, there's been lack of cohesion in terms of their rotation all season long. When you really think about it, one every 3 games, you're without Proctor for a stretch. You're without Rote for a stretch. Now you're without Foster. Mark Mitchell has missed some games. But I think everyone really has bought into what they're doing, and there's cohesion on what their roster is doing right now.
Did you hear every Wake Forest fan right there?
Yeah.
They were going, Filipowski didn't miss any games, did he? The big bad knee injury.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. I just had to vocalize what they were yelling at their radios. Hey, Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Calling all North Carolina sports fans. Soon enough, DraftKings Sportsbook will be live right here in our state. Starting March 11th, you'll be able to bet in North Carolina on all your favorite sports, and yes, that does include college basketball, from the comfort of your own home, or more importantly, anywhere you can reach your phone, right? Anywhere where they're not saying, put your phones in your pockets, please. You can, as long as you're in the state of North Carolina, you have the app downloaded, you're good to go. To celebrate, new customers who download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code TIMD, T-I-M-D, will score up to $300. There's no space in that, by the way. T-I-M-D, no space. Will score up to $300 in bonus bets when you place a $5 bet once they're live. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code TIMD, no space, T-I-M-D, to get up to $300 in bonus bets once mobile sports betting goes live. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, coming soon to North Carolina on March 11th with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Maximum $300 in bonus bets not available for use until March 11th, 2024. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. More of The Drive coming up next, including this question. Based on what we've seen from the offseason thus far, are the Panthers tanking in 2024? Stick around.
It's madness.
Davis, the man with a hot hand, accelerates to his right now. Step back 3 on Cleveland. Ring that.
He cannot miss. Total madness.
Ben Johnson, shot fake for the win. Yes, sir!
Absolute madness. Bruce Thornton ahead. Potter at the buzzer. Got it! The Triangle's home for college basketball's national championship. 99.9 The Fan.
The best thing about pollen? It's temporary. Just like the Autobell Car Wash Pollen Pass. Enjoy 3 months of unlimited car washes. Get your pass today and save at any Autobell. And when the pollen ends, so does your plan.
People can tell when you Autobell.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, basketball fans, where are you watching the game? With wall-to-wall TVs and dozens of ice-cold beers, Carolina Ale House is your hoops haven. Grab a dozen award-winning wings or any of their homemade apps and entrees. With 7 locations in the Triangle, Carolina Ale House is a slam-dunk spot for you and your crew. Pay them a visit to sign up for their bracket challenge, where the best bracket wins an Apple Vision Pro. Watching at home? Visit CarolinaAleHouse.com for specials and order wings to go. Carolina Ale House, celebrating 25 years of food, sports, and fun. Hell yeah.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Should've compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
We want to invite you to Atlantic Spas and Billiards to bring more relaxation, wellness, and fun to your home. Sit in a hot tub from Hot Spring or Caldera, relax in a hot sauna from Finleo, or swim in our showroom in our endless pool. We have a fully stocked game room showroom with darts, ping pong, foosball, air hockey, pool tables, and more. Everything we sell for your home, from hot tubs to grills, from saunas to pool tables, promotes relaxation, wellness, and fun. Atlantic Spas and Billiards on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh and Market Street in Wilmington, AtlanticSBNC.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 15% when you buy 10 or more select primed finger joint boards. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers. Call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check out all they have to offer at deepriversportingclays.com. There's a ton that they have to offer for you. It's not just the course and the range, obviously the shooting school, everything that they have to offer, you can check out on deepriversportingclays.com. But they have a bunch of different events that they run throughout the course of the year. They got different competitions. They have different activities for you to do while you're not on the course. You know, after you finish your round of clays, they got different events that take place throughout the course of the year, and they have different competitions where people come in from not only just across the state and the area, but really from all parts of the country and world to compete at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check out all they have to offer, deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com. They have so much out there for you if you want to be a member of Deep River. They also have different training options, even one-on-one instruction, you name it. I love going to Deep River. It's a fantastic experience every time I go there. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. What conditions on and off for the rest of the day today? We start to see that rain tapering off this evening, looking at as much as an inch of rain. So just keep that umbrella handy. It's getting a workout today, that's for sure. A high of 63 degrees, and then we drop to 52 tonight. Tomorrow looks pretty. We dry out with some sunshine and a high of 70.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 17 points to 38,602.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Are the Panthers tanking next year? Is that part of their big master plan? First of all, let's call out the obvious. Some people use different terms for tanking. A reset year, burn it down to build it back up year. Some call it retooling. Some call it rebuilding. It's
the
all
process.
The process. It's all how there's levels, right? Rebuilding could mean, yeah, we got a couple expensive old guys that we have to cut for cap reasons, but we have the draft picks to replace them, and we're just going to kind of plug and place. Look at that, rebuilt. Rebuilding could also mean we're cutting everybody. We're going to lose, and then we're going to use the draft picks we get at the top of each round by losing to rebuild. Are the Panthers looking at 2024 as a reset year? A tank year? Well, we have to look at some of the moves they've made. They cut Dante Jackson. They made roughly $6 million back against the cap. They cut Hayden Hurst. They made roughly $52,000. Yes, that's $1,000 back against the cap. The moves they're making are the type that take players, veterans, NFL players, off of their roster and don't necessarily give them a ton of avenues to replace them with better players next year. Like, let's put it this way. The Seahawks cut 3 guys, Quandre Diggs, Will Dissly, Jamal Adams. They freed up $11 million in cap, $7 million in cap, and $16.5 million in cap. So they're looking at roughly $30+ million more dollars in cap. The Panthers are cutting guys and getting like a couple $100,000 in cap. They're getting $52,000 in cap while still giving them $5+ to walk away. That starts to reek a little bit of this year's going to be rough. We know it's going to be rough. We just want to get out from these players and make sure all of the cap casualties, all of the cap hits we have hit in 2024 rather than 2025, because 2025 is going to be where we actually are trying to win. The Panthers are cutting players that seem to be helping 2025 rather than 2024. Which is something why maybe they were a little bit more comfortable to say Brian Burns, yeah, hit the cap $24 million this year. Why they might be a little bit more comfortable to allow Derek Brown to play this year on the rest of his cap, knowing it'll be a big cap that they could get lower with a long-term deal. They're going, well, yeah, who cares what our cap is in 2024? We're going to stink anyway. Here's Adam Schefter on the Panthers being open to trading Brian Burns.
They tag him today, but I believe they tag him with the idea that they still would be open to trading him. And the question will become, where and when do they wind up dealing Brian Burns if there's a package that's attractive enough to Carolina? But just because the tag was placed on Brian Burns today doesn't mean that Brian Burns is going to be in Carolina. Keep in mind, the Panthers are missing a lot of draft picks that they gave up last year to Chicago to trade up for Bryce Young. I think they'd like to replenish some of those picks, and in return, Brian Burns could be the man that gets that done.
What would that be? Taking a really good player off your roster in 2024 and replacing them with, at best, rookies.
Unknowns?
at worst, picks for 2025 that you won't even have the ability to take this year. The defense was good last year, wasn't it? Solid. I don't think
good. Not far from great, but good.
I'm seeing so many people say they have top 5 defense from last year.
No, they don't.
What you have to do is you have to explain your criteria.
What's your metric here?
They had a top 4 defense in yards allowed. They had one of the bottom team stats in points allowed. Now, you go, okay, some of that's the offense. There's context to everything. I get it.
Red zone touchdown percentage, one of the worst in the NFL.
But you're not giving up yards because other teams don't need to get yards when they're leading by double figures in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
They're just being conservative. Neither here nor there. You kept the defensive staff because you think the defense was run well last year. If you didn't think the defense was run well last year, you would have moved on from all those defensive coaches. So you thought the defense was solid. You kept the defensive coaching staff because you liked where they were going. You have not made the same commitment to defensive players. Frankie Louvu looking for a deal. Kamu Grugier-Hill looking for a deal. Dante Jackson told he's going to be released. Henderson still doesn't have a deal. The safeties still don't have a deal. Gross Matos still doesn't have a deal. Maybe I'm stretching. Marquise Haynes doesn't have a deal. We could go on and on. I think what they're doing, this is my answer to are they tanking this year? I think it's a half tank. It's like a half calf, right? I want half decaf, half caffeinated. Call it a half calf. Shout out to the movie Kicking and Screaming starring Will Ferrell. A half calf. I think it's a half tank. I think it's a half reset. I think it's a half rebuild. I think they're very aware that they do not have the roster, the talent, the resources, the draft picks to put together a complete roster. They can't have a great special teams and a great defense and a great offense, and they're aware. So they're going, well, so like actually this is how getting $6 million in cap back for Dante Jackson. You might think of that as $3 million for defense, $3 million for offense. I don't think the Panthers are thinking that way. Mm-hmm. They're thinking that's $6 million for offense.
$6 million.
That's $6 million for offense. The defense, good luck, Evero.
Can we sign a decent guard?
I think it might end up being a half tank. They're going to spend whatever necessary to get the offense going. Why? Well, because Dave Canales is an offensive-minded head coach, and he wants to start his tenure as a head coach off on the right foot. Why? Because Bryce Young is the most important person in their franchise right now, and they just traded the world for him last year. They need to get him going in the right direction. Why? Because offense puts fans in seats. And if the defense suffers because you took all the resources off the defense and shuffled them over to the offensive side and you lose games, I'm going to quote Bob Ross on this one, say that's a happy accident. You get a higher draft pick next year, that's a happy accident. It's a half tank. It's an offense that you want to take leaps and bounds moving forward, even if it is at the expense of the defense. You're going to deal with that because you don't have like part of their struggle is you don't have the resources. You don't have the picks. You don't have the cap. You don't have the players on the roster already to be solid or above average at everything. So pick the things you want to be solid or above average at, and then take from the others and move it over here. It's like me when I used to build Madden or NCAA football video game creative players. They give you 100 points of skill points to go distribute. I'd build a quarterback with no throw power, no throw accuracy, no pocket awareness, and what would I do? 99 speed. What are we running? Triple option, right? If you can't be good at everything, be great at one thing, and then lean on that, and you'll deal with the rest later. Panthers are going, we don't have enough skill points to be good at defense, offense, special teams. All right, well, let's cut where we can on defense. Load up on offense, try to win shootouts. Speed option, baby. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I used to cut quarterbacks, cut quarterbacks, move corners to quarterback, triple option. They already got the speed. Now we're just deep into my weird old video game habits. Dennis, what do you got for us?
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Look, Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make all that stuff happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. I'll say that one more time. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement project you're looking to do this spring or summer. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Every single Wednesday here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, we play Hit It and Quit It. We take the biggest sports stories, like the NHL trade deadline coming up, like off-season NFL talk with the Panthers, like recruiting news, dunk contest news. Yeah, it's all coming up as part of Hit It and Quit It. We hit each story, we quit each story, we move on to the next one. Fast pace, next.
The Canes Corner Radio Show, presented by Storm Brew, returns to Backyard Bistro this Wednesday night at 7. The show will be hosted by play-by-play voice for your Carolina Hurricanes, Mike Maniscalco, with special guest Michael Bunting. That's this Wednesday night at 7 at Backyard Bistro, just across from PNC Arena. Come join us. It's the perfect way to get you ready for the Canes' run in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's Wednesday night at 7 at Backyard Bistro. Listen to it on 99.9 The Fan or watch it online at WRALSportsFan.com.
Get Spectrum One with Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $49.99 a month. Plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card up to $500. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Academy Sports and Outdoors is the sporting goods store that's all about fun. And a new location is coming to Knightdale. With great brands at the best prices, you'll always find the gear you need to play the games you love and enjoy your favorite outdoor activities with your favorite people. Academy has it all in store and online. No matter how you have fun out there, your next adventure starts here. Your new Academy Sports and Outdoors store is coming soon to Knightdale. Until then, check out academy.com.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
At the North Carolina Education Lottery, we love to celebrate winners. So I hired a town crier to announce Pick 3, Pick 4, and Cash 5 winners.
Hear ye, hear ye.
But there are thousands of winners every day.
Oyez, oyez, oyez.
I may not have thought this through.
A proclamation of jubilant accord.
Who gave him a bell?
Daily draw games. What will you do with your win? Must be 18 to play. See Pick 3, Pick 4 and Cash 5 prize and odds charts at nclottery.com for details. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Get ready, North Carolina. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is launching soon and just in time because we've got the biggest college basketball tournaments of the year all set and ready to go because it starts March 11th. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets just for signing up before March 11th. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. Join today. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold and join today. Then you'll be set when FanDuel is officially live. You can bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports and all your favorite ways. You can bet winners, you can bet point spreads, you can bet totals because there will be live betting. Isn't that great? You must be 21 years of age or older and present in North Carolina. Bonuses are issued in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 30 days after FanDuel accepts its first real money sports wager in North Carolina. Unique user identity verification required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hey, Joe Montana here. Back in my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia, a bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older or 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like diabetes or asthma, you're at increased risk. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Godsmack Vibes Tour. Live and acoustic. Friday, March 8th, Deepak Durham with special guest Bastion de Cruz. An intimate evening of music and untold stories with Godsmack. On sale now at livenation.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play Hit It and Quit It. Take the biggest stories in sports, particularly those that apply to North Carolina, and even more specifically, the Triangle. We line them up, we hit them, and we quit them. Starting with the NHL trade deadline is on Friday. There is smoke screens everywhere, rumors flying in every direction, actual moves flying in I wouldn't say every direction, but at least in a handful of directions. Dennis has been updating and monitoring the situation. What's the latest?
So 3 p.m. Friday is the NHL trade deadline. There's actually been a flurry of moves today.
Flurry?
A flurry?
Marc-Andre Fleury?
No, actually Marc-Andre Fleury and the Minnesota Wild said he's not going anywhere. So that is
a flurry of moves.
Yes, a flurry of moves. So we've actually this is some moves that actually impact the Carolina Hurricanes in the sense that, for example, the Philadelphia Flyers sent Sean Walker and a 2026 fifth-round pick to the Colorado Avalanche for Ryan Johansson and a conditional 2025 first-round pick. So right now, the way things stand in the playoff standings, Carolina will play Philadelphia in the first round. Now, Philadelphia has been sliding like crazy. It doesn't help for them that Carter Hart, their starting goaltender, has got legal issues, and there's a whole bunch of mess that's going on in that organization right now from that regard. So they've made a move. Also, the Carolina Hurricanes were linked to a guy like possibly from the Seattle Kraken, Alex Wemberg, who's a center. He got traded from Seattle to the New York Rangers for a 2024 second and a 2025 fourth-round pick. Now, Seattle's also retaining 50% of that salary and all that. So the Rangers, who the Carolina Hurricanes, if the Rangers get out of the first round, will play in the second round of the playoffs, the way things are looking right now. So all things to take into consideration, Adam Henrique from the Anaheim Ducks got traded to the Edmonton Oilers, along with Sam Carrick. And the Edmonton Oilers sent a first-round pick as well as a conditional 2025 fifth-round pick. And they even actually had to use Tampa Bay to help broker the deal in order, hey, will you retain some salary? Cool, here's a fourth-round pick as well to do that. So there's a lot of moves that are taking place all across the board, but teams now are really starting to get active under 48 hours to the trade deadline.
The word that is jumping into my or the words that are jumping into my brain, arms race, right?
A little bit.
If teams on your side of the bracket are making moves to get better at the deadline, and you are in a nip and tuck battle with them in certain respects, are you a little bit more motivated to go make deals of your own? I think the answer to that is yes. Now, how much more motivated depends on a lot. What I will say is this. Shout out to Dylan on Twitter, who tweeted at me earlier today. No trades. Keep the guys. Feed off the fact that we don't need to make personnel changes to win. The culture is what it is because of this group.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I believe, Don Waddell's strategy.
Yeah.
I think you are in alignment with the Canes. What I would say is, I think that sets you up to have a little bit of regret. Now, obviously, if it works, no regrets. However, I don't think going all in and making aggressive moves to make your team better comes with as much regret if it doesn't work, because you did what you could do. You made the decision. You pulled the trigger. You made the deal. You went and got the thing you felt you were missing. To sit there and go, I think we're good, and not get there, I think you're just setting yourself up for regret.
I think it's such a fine line
Very much
to
so.
balance. It really is, because, like I said earlier, if you could really shake up your room if you take the wrong guys out.
Or do you want the to be cliche and go Miracle with it, the movie Miracle? Do you want, and obviously the Miracle on Ice is the center of the movie. Do you want the guy that you float around bringing onto the team just to have the 3 team leaders come tell you, like, we don't want him, Herb. We're a family. Like, do you want to, like, be active at the trade deadline just until Stahl, Martinook, and Aho knock on your door and say, hey, Don, we don't need him. We're going to win by – this is a family. Like, maybe that's what you're looking for. I just think that's more movie than real life. In real life, usually you go get the best players and you win the game with the best players. That's my experience in my however many decades as a sports fan.
And there are guys out there who would buy into the culture that the Carolina Hurricanes have set, because it's a known thing, right?
It's a good example. Like you don't – everyone you trade for isn't a jerk. You can trade for guys, right? It's like heat culture in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Reportedly, like, there are, like, Dwayne Wade will work out with somebody in the off season, and it, like, Pat Riley will get a text that'll just say, like, hey, just so you know, this dude's one of us. Like, there are people that fit Canes culture in every way except for they're not on the Canes. You can go trade for one of those guys.
Yeah.
You don't have to go trade for some lackadaisical, offensive-minded goal scorer who has no interest in forechecking.
Oh, you mean Vladimir Tarasenko?
You don't have to go. Yeah, exactly. If you trade for Tarasenko, even me, who's like, make a move at the deadline, might be like, well, I'm going to be a little more picky than that. Either way, that's a lot going on at the trade deadline, and we'll keep you updated as it gets closer and closer to Friday. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
We got better tonight.
Frankie Louvu. Seems like a guy you want to keep if you're the Carolina Panthers, right? Because I know you and I talked about this earlier today. So he's a free agent, or set to be a free agent. Obviously, the Carolina Panthers can sign him before the free agency period actually starts next week. But you talk about productive, team culture, and that quote-unquote dog that Dan Morgan mentioned about so much ago.
Dogs.
That D-A-W-G dog kind of guy. I'm sorry, Frankie Louvu kind of fits that, right? Like, isn't that someone that you want to retain?
Here's I think it's a good measuring point. Frankie Louvu is a dog. He's a dog. He's also he's someone that fits with Evero's defense. He's also someone that I believe if he hits the open market, he's not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I believe that for most, right? It's rare. If you have the opportunity to negotiate with the player before free agency, you don't get something done until after free agency. If I'm the player, if I'm the agent, I'm going like, all right, guess you didn't really want us. We'll go see what we can get on the open market. He's an interesting one because if you watched Dave Canales, head coach, Dan Morgan, GM's introductory press conferences, they talked about they want guys that fit their culture. They talked about we want dogs. They talked about they want guys that fit their system. They know what they're looking for. They want competitors. They like everything they said in those intro press conferences to me is Frankie Louvu, right? He's somebody who has earned, scratched, clawed for everything he's gotten in the NFL. He's the only player in the NFL over the last 2 years to combine for 200 tackles and 10-plus sacks. He is somebody that gets the job done with the dog mentality. Now, he also plays a position that has been devalued in the NFL as of recently, off-ball linebacker.
Yep.
The analytics will say you shouldn't spend your money there. There's a lot of things like that. So I'm going, all right, this is a good test. Do they actually want the dogs that fit the culture, or are they like a lot of other teams and they're like, well, analytics kind of tells us where we can spend and where we can splurge. We'll see. Right? Actions speak louder than words. You know what else is interesting?
Can you afford him?
He's a top 30 free agent, according to ESPN right now. 7 of the top 10 were franchise tagged. So that vaulted a bunch of guys from like, oh, he's a top 50 guy to like, oh, he's in the top 40, right? It's like he's up to 33, I believe, in the ESPN.com free agency rankings. You want to know another fun one?
What's that?
They listed the top 100.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who comes in the 90s? Jeremy Chin.
Ha! Yeah.
No thanks to Evero and the staff that didn't utilize him very well last year. That's just a fun fact. That's just a little nugget for you. Let's quit that. Let's hit this. couple of Duke basketball stories.
Okay.
Neither current Duke player.
All right.
We'll a future and a past. The future is Common Malawash, the number 3 ranked recruit in the freshman class of next year. So the 2024 freshman class. Am I saying that right?
25.
25?
Yeah.
What year are we in?
Something like that.
Well, it's going to start this year, right? Because it'll start before the new year.
So
the 2024-2025 freshman class.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. Common Malawash committed to Duke today. He is the number 3 recruit, number 3 projected pick, which, depending on which recruiting service you look at, gives Duke number 1 Cooper Flagg, number 3 Malawash. They also have 7, 16, I believe somewhere in the 30s at 32, 37. They have one of those classes that is going to make you the big bad bully on the block.
How big's their recruiting class?
I'm assuming they're expecting McCain, Filipowski, Roach to go.
Yeah.
And maybe they're expecting some portal.
Well, I know Ryan Young's graduating, and there's some other guys that.
I think Malawash is one of those guys where it's like, we'll find room. If you commit, we will make a 7'2" space on our locker room for you. It now gives them probably the most talented front court in the country next year, regardless of if guys like Klingon or whoever else stick around.
That's wild.
Now let's get to the fun part about Duke past.
Oh, okay.
Zion Williamson.
Oh, Zion.
Probably the last time Duke had one of those classes where they had number 1, number 2, number 3, and like number 10 in the class was R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson, Cam Reddish, and the younger Jones. Was that Trey Jones? And maybe one other, a couple other guys on that. Zion told the media he will do the dunk contest next year if, wanted to let everybody get excited, if
go on,
he is voted an all-star.
Start the campaign.
I think that you took the words out of my mouth. I think what we do here is we start the campaign now to get Zion. I don't care if he plays 6 games and he is averaging 4 points. You vote him into the all-star just to see him in the dunk contest. This past year was the first time in years, I say this past year, like 3 weeks ago, whenever the all-star game was the first time in years that a actual all-star was in the dunk contest. And it was Jaylen Brown, and he did horrendously. He had a couple dunks that should not have gotten the scores that they should have gotten. Part of the reason the dunk contest isn't what it used to be is because the actual all-stars aren't in the dunk contest, right? Like, when Vince Carter was doing the dunks, Vince Carter was one of the 10 best players in the league. When, obviously, the Jordan and Dominique, like, those things were like, that's what it was. Dwight Howard. When Dwight Howard had a run, his likability is a little different than it used to be, but his run through the dunk contest where he was Superman and doing all that stuff was very high, and he was an all-star at the time. So let's put Zion in. I want a dunk contest that people care about, and I'm starting the campaign now to make him an all-star. And if he would have said, like, I'll do the dunk contest if you guys get my name number 1 trending on Twitter, I'd campaign for that too. I want Zion in the dunk contest. There's only a few guys in the NBA that would legitimately get me excited for the dunk contest. Zion is one of them. If LaVine and Gordon did a rematch, I'd be excited for that because that was awesome. If LeBron wanted to do it, I'd be excited for that because that was awesome, even though obviously not where he would be at his peak. And then Zion. Anything to add, Dennis?
Start the campaign. Let's go. All your votes. Start voting now.
Every vote counts. Yesterday was election day.
Exactly. Start
this
voting
one,
now.
Way more important. I kid. But still. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
What? All right, so I'm actually going to go back to the Carolina Panthers here real fast. So Jordan Reed of ESPN, by the way, who's an NC Central graduate, played football at NC Central, works for ESPN, one of their draft analyst guys, did a 2-round mock draft because you know what? It's never enough to do 1 round.
Because he wanted to include the Panthers.
2. Exactly. Who picked number 33. He actually has Florida State wide receiver Keon Coleman slipping down to pick number 33 for the Carolina Panthers. You like Tim? You like?
I don't.
No? Why? Keon Coleman's a big beast of a wide receiver. Why don't you want that?
Keon Coleman's highlight film.
Yeah.
Outside of like the Marvin Harrison, like the tippy top guys, might be the best. He's got some one-handed catches. He's got some contested catches that are bananas. The reason why I don't love him at 33 to the Panthers is not because Keon Coleman isn't a very good wide receiver. Very good. Florida State looked great this year. Michigan State looked good previous years. Which is funny. We like with the transfer portal, we now have to go list all the places that they've played. Proved himself in the Big Ten. Proved himself in the ACC. I just don't think all right, let me take a step back. Let me rewind.
Okay.
This past year for Bryce Young should have been a lot of information gathering. Okay? You need to learn what players work best with him, but more importantly, what type of players work best with him. I've used this example in the past. I'll give it to you one more time. What the Dolphins did with Tua Tagovailoa is what the Panthers should be modeling it after what they're going to do with Bryce Young. Tua Tagovailoa's rookie year, he had contested catch guys. He had Mike Gesicki, right? 40-inch vertical, 6'5". He had, what's his name? He went up to the Patriots. Another big Devontae Parker. He had Preston Williams. These are the wide receivers. Devontae Parker, Preston Williams. They're 6'4". They're vertical jump guys. They're jump ball guys. They're contested catch guys. Tua didn't look great because guess what? Tua was used to playing at Alabama with who? Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, guys that were small, fast, ran to open spaces. So Tua became prodigious at throwing to open spaces, and these guys, anticipating open spaces, and his wide receivers running under it. Anticipating open spaces, not throwing it to covered guys and trusting them to make plays. I think Bryce Young has some of that, right? Same school, same area with Alabama, same style of players that he thrived with at Alabama, the Jamison Williams of the world. Keon Coleman doesn't get separation. Keon Coleman's thing is, I don't need separation. Bryce Young goes, I'd throw it to separation. I throw it to open areas, and then you go get it. I don't look at you and give you the jump ball. Some players are great at the jump ball, right? Some quarterbacks love guys that make contested catches. Unfortunately, I just don't think that's Bryce. So in a deep wide receiver draft, where guys like Troy Franklin, guys like Xavier Leggett, some guys that run a little bit faster, more comfortable chasing them down, I think that's where you go for Bryce Young's number one wide receiver. I don't think you go big-bodied jump ball guy.
Okay.
But he's a fun highlight film.
Here's my question. If you're an elite number one overall pick quarterback, shouldn't you be able to adapt to a jump ball wide receiver like that, like a big body guy? Like Baker Mayfield never had that. Gets Mike Evans. Loved him.
Well, Baker Mayfield, Baker's a weird example. Like, let's be clear on that. I do think all quarterbacks have types, right? I mean, unless like you're Randy Moss or like there are certain guys one size fits all. I don't think Keon Coleman's Randy Moss. If you look at I'll use Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers always had the route technician at X, right? Whether it's Donald Driver, whether it's Jordy Nelson, whether it's Devontae Adams. We know who the type is for Tom Brady, right? Slot guys that are great at sight adjustments. It's Troy Brown, it's Wes Welker, it's Danny Amendola, and then there's obviously Gronk. Everybody has a type. You have to go get your type. Now, the quality of your wide receiver, I do think, goes down as your career gets along because they trust you to turn lesser quality guys, but their type is still the same. Bryce Young has a type. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you want to go get Justin Jefferson, if you want to go get Jamar Chase, that's everybody's type. They'll do whatever you need them to do. But, you're not going to find Justin Jefferson at pick 33, at least not an obvious Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Let's quit that. Let's hit this. Last night was senior night for UNC. Everybody was out there celebrating. RJ Davis was a part of the festivities. Started, got the jersey before halftime, or before the game. Name read by the announcer. He still has his COVID year.
He does.
Should RJ Davis come back next year?
Oof.
He's likely going to be the ACC Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in the running, in the finalist grouping, whatever, the top 10 for a lot of national Players of the Year. Should he come back and try to run it back?
Do they win the national championship?
Maybe.
I say, I'm saying this year. Like,
no, I'm saying, like, does that affect? You're saying if you win, you walk off into the sunset, or do you bring it back and try to run it back?
I don't know. I think he might do what Jeremy Roach did like this past year. Let me test and see what the NBA says about me. And then, like, you know what? If I don't get that great of a grade, I know I can make good money going back to Carolina with NIL money and be the dude on campus. And then, honestly, finish up a master's degree if you want to, or a second undergrad, and then just hoop for a year.
First of all, if I'm a player that they invite like to the combine or they invite to test, I test every year.
Sure.
I may even off the record tell my college coach, like, oh, I'm coming back. Don't worry. But why would I not go play in some of the most fun 5-on-5s at the combine and test myself against the best of the best and try to get better? Like, of course I'm going to do all of that. So I think he should 100% test it as long as he feels comfortable. I think he's one of the ones that you actually have to, like, find somebody you trust in the industry to tell you where you're going to get picked, if you're going to get picked. And if you're not going to get picked, you go back to UNC. You can make more money at a high-level blue blood program, and you don't have to go overseas. And R.J. Davis could really, with an extra year, put some records in his legacy.
Think he'll chase down Armando Bacot's most games played in the ACC record?
Heck, I don't know where R.J. Davis stands, but maybe. Might chase down his rebounds record if he stays long enough.
Yeah, you never know.
Just kidding. One more here. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
You put a person up on a pinnacle.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Good old Cam.
Auntie Ranta.
Yeah.
Skated before practice today.
Yes.
They have 4 goalies that are all trying to get in the practice mix.
For the Carolina Hurricanes, yes.
Pyotr Kochetkov, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Anderson hasn't yet been back active for a game, but he's back pretty consistently at practice. Spencer Martin is one of the cooler stories, but he's in the mix. And Auntie Ranta, now working his way back from injury, is in the mix in practice. And there's not that many goals on the ice at practice. So they're having to pick kind of one guy a day to skate before practice. Today it was Ranta. Do you make anything out of that, Dennis? Do you think that's tipping the hand of any kind?
No, I think it's just Ranta is still working his way back from injury. So if you want to get him live practice reps, do it, 2 days before a game or 3 days before a game as opposed to the day before when you actually are game prepping. So I think that I really don't read much into that. And then Freddie Anderson, you just wanted him to get as many live reps as possible just to get him back into shape. So no, I don't really read too much into it, no.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is hit it and quit it. So we're going to quit it. And we are going to look towards my friends over at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, but more specifically, Fox & Bailey's Watch Shop located within Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. I am a self-described watch nerd, and even I am blown away by the amount of knowledge and recommendations and explanations you can get from the staff at Fox & Bailey, right? The fact of the matter is some of these watches are going to run you a pretty penny, right? They're custom, or not custom, they're vintage timepieces that come with so much technology and craftsmanship that they're an investment. And you want to know everything about your investments before you make them. That's why you go to Mickey, you go to Paul. They have these experts in Fox & Bailey's Watch Shop, and they can explain to you why a particular brand, or heck, we'll use one, right? They have an unbelievable selection of pre-owned and vintage Rolexes. Why the ones from the 90s are priced different than the ones from the 60s, or even a brand new one, and what you get and why they're so celebrated. And then, of course, they have their Omega Boutique. If you're interested in the Moonwatch, if you're interested in the Speedmaster, the same brand that goes on astronauts' wrists when they go on spacewalks, and it's even been used on the moon. They have it in their Omega Boutique. Brand new Omega Boutique, second largest of its kind in the entire country. You want to check it all out. It's at Fox & Bailey's Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry in their Village District location. Make sure they know you heard about it right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly. Drake Maye. As we transition to what's coming up next here on The Drive, Drake Maye is getting the runaround by everybody following the combine. He's this, he's that, he's good, he's bad, he's a competitor, he's too wild, he's everything to everybody. Drake Maye reports from the combine coming up next.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as a last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patient active with no downtime, and get them back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Ugh. Shoulda compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
Hey, everybody, Tim Donnelly here, and it's that time of year, right? Today, such a gross day out. It's raining, it's cold, it's muggy, it's all of those things. The wind is whipping, and it's days like today, you are very appreciative if you have some windows from Window Nation, and you are very jealous if you don't. Just recently, Justin from Window Nation came out to my house, and do you know what I loved about it? The authenticity, right? There were parts of my windows he looked at and he goes, actually, no, that's in pretty good shape. Think about that. He was a salesman in my house. We were considering new windows, and I'm not a window expert. He could have looked at it and said, oh, your left phalange is completely shot and your doohickey needs to be replaced right now or else you're going to lose all of your money. He didn't. He said, no, it's in pretty good shape. And then when we were talking about which windows to get, right? Oh, we want to save money on our energy. We want to save money on this. We want to save money on our heating and cooling bills. He said, well, okay, here's what we do. And he explained it. And then he said this. This is exactly what I have in my house. That's pretty darn authentic, right? He's not selling the upper super duper, you're never going to need it unless you live on the moon windows. He's saying, no, this is exactly what I put in my house. So he's living it as it works, right? He's a part of it. That's what they have at Window Nation. They have authenticity. They want to help you save money on your energy bill. They want to help you be able to use every room in your house. We all have that one room that you can't use in the summertime because the sun makes it 900 degrees. They want you to get the most out of your windows, and they want to get the most out of their own windows, which is why it's right there in their house. If you're interested, you're in luck. They right now are running a buy two, get two free window deal. So buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. Window Nation's professional installation teams have over 10 years of experience and can install your windows in 1 day or less. They also come with a lifetime warranty. How's that sound? Get a free, no-obligation quote now where they can look at your windows. They can talk you through it. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com. Make sure they know we sent you. More of The Drive coming up in just a couple seconds. I said it was just a couple seconds, and I'm back. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Drake Maye is Phillip Rivers. You buying?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. I've seen every different report on Drake Maye coming out of the Combine. Like, at this point, I don't think there's anything that hasn't been said about him. Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk, put out his list of top 6 quarterbacks following the Combine. Drake Maye was number 6. I haven't seen Drake Maye ranked that low in years. Chris Sims put him at 6. Chris Sims said there are 5 franchise starting quarterbacks in this draft, and then Drake Maye. We're talking Penix. We're talking Nix. We're talking Daniels. We're talking Williams. We're talking McCarthy. Not in that order, but those 5 guys, and then Maye. Like I said, we've heard it all. Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated wrote an entire article about Drake Maye being a competitive person and comparing him over and over again to Phillip Rivers. Is Phillip Rivers. This is a North Carolina to NC State comparison, saying he is Phillip Rivers. And he was using all of the things, the cliches about Phillip Rivers, right? The trash talking, the dang gummits, everything that you know about Phillip Rivers, he was saying is Drake Maye. And the hilarious part of the article is if you watched a single North Carolina football game this year, you had heard all the anecdotes already. It's like, oh, you don't understand how competitive Drake Maye is. He grew up with big brothers that were extremely good athletes and a dad that played football at North Carolina.
And a brother that played basketball at North Carolina.
2 of them.
Yes.
And another brother that played at Florida, and he was a national champion baseball player. And it's like, we know this. Oh, he's a great competitor. Did you watch Drake Maye play? That guy didn't give up on a single play this year, no matter what happened. He'd throw it left-handed. He'd throw it while he's being spun to the ground before he admitted that they had an unsuccessful play. Matter of fact, I think the competitiveness needs to be reeled in a little bit. You need to occasionally take your lumps and throw it away and go, all right, they got the better of us on that play. Fine. Yes, he has a laid-back drawl, but he's a fierce competitor. Yes, he speaks with a twang, but he's a fierce competitor. Phillip Rivers. If you watch him play, you know all this about Drake Maye. You're getting to it a little bit later. That's fair. That's fine. A lot of NFL guys are just now getting familiar with college players. They don't really dive in until they're declared for the draft and they've been at the combine and they're looking at them as prospects. That's fine. But if you're going to be dramatically different than everybody else, you better have a reason. You better have a reason. They called Chris Sims called Drake Maye a talented project and put him well below J.J. McCarthy. Now, J.J. McCarthy won a national championship. team award, but he won a national championship. He had games where he wasn't asked to throw, like at all. Drake Maye was asked to throw. Drake Maye, even with Omarion Hampton, who's a stud, was asked to throw. And was it always perfect? No. Did he take a couple chances? Yes. But you could argue that's the competitiveness that some people like. My point with Drake Maye is this. And this has been my point about Drake Maye this entire draft process. The reason why he's an elite prospect is because of his physical, natural abilities and the work he's put in to hone them. He is 6'4", 230, laser rocket arm, can run, right? He's been durable. He understands the game. Reportedly was lights out at the whiteboard at the combine when people asked him football questions. If you don't like that, that's a you problem, dude. If you're sitting around, actually, it's not a you problem, but it's a you thing, right? It's there's a difference between saying this is my top group and I am somebody within an NFL franchise that is going to have to build around them, and saying this is my top group and my rankings with how I think they're going to play. I'm fine if you say, like, listen, my playbook has a whole bunch of you got to get through 6 reads before 2.5 seconds, and he hasn't shown the ability to do that. That's like, okay, fine. Right? Or vice versa, right? You might think Michael Penix is not your dude because you need a quarterback that's able to run. That's fine. That's a you thing, though, right? That's not a quality overall. That's a you don't know how to use that player. If you don't know how to use Jaden Daniels, that's not Jaden Daniels' fault. He just ran for 1,300 yards. If you don't know how to use Drake Maye, who had nearly as many first down runs as Jaden Daniels, that's a you problem, dude. And if you are someone in the media that is ranking quarterbacks, you don't have to use them. You don't have to draw up the play that takes advantage of his unique skill set. You don't have to be the one that calls the run play because you're like, I don't believe in quarterbacks running. You just have to look at the quality of the player. Yeah, maybe he's, I don't know, both from the South and plays quarterback. If you want to call him Phillip Rivers, go ahead. Maybe they're both tall and strong-armed. If that's the criteria, from the South, tall and strong-armed.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
That's a good punchline to that joke. I was going to go like Matt Stafford. I was going to go Peyton Manning, although the arm strength might not even be there. There's a couple wobblers. There's a few different ways to go with that. But if you are anti his style of improv, that's a you problem. That's not an overall quality problem. Don't say he's the 6th best quarterback in the draft because you like a quarterback that handles things differently. You can be best without being your style. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, and I want to tell you about my friends Gordon Miller and everyone over there at Miller Lending. They are the home of the no-cost loan, which means as the Fed, some may say shortly or in the not-too-distant future, puts a cap or even a cut on rates, you're going to want to know where you can contact Miller Lending because they'll be able to refinance your mortgage, particularly if you were locked into one of these sky-high rates of the last year or two. They'll be able to refi it without digging into your pocket, right? You won't have to go get all those costs and fees in cash to get your rate down. You won't have to go buy points, get your rate down. You can just contact Miller Lending, let them do a no-cost closing loan, and your rate will be down, your rate will be lowered, and no cost out of your pocket. That's pretty darn awesome. So give them a call, or at least write this number down for when you want to give them a call. 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. Coming up next, the starting 5, including Wake Forest. What happened to Wake Forest in that court storm against Duke that changed them forever? Stick around.
It's madness.
Davis, the man with a hot hand, accelerates to his right now. Step back 3 on Cleveland. Ring that.
He cannot miss. Total madness.
Ben Johnson, shot fake for the win. Yes, sir!
Absolute madness.
Bruce Thornton ahead. Potter at the buzzer. Got it!
The Triangle's home for college basketball's national championship. 99.9 The Fan.
Sound Station and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Sound Station and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Sound Station and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Sound Station and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. What a great time for sports. The College Hoops Tournament in hockey is in the home stretch. I call games in Seattle and around the country, but when I'm back in the Triangle, I head right to Buffalo Brothers. Make sure you visit Buffalo Brothers for all the big games. Always great specials, like half-price appetizers Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. Dine in, carry out at all 5 Triangle locations and online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Making dinner, trimming your hair, mowing the lawn. Sure, you can do it all yourself, but why? At Autobell Car Wash, our team cleans your whole car from the inside out in 15 minutes or less. We do the work so you don't have to.
People can tell when you are Autobell.
Nothing beats a Fairway Green lawn. Here's Kevin from Fairway Green. Time to get busy, right?
Yes, it's nice. We're starting to warm up, and time is running out to get that first application of pre-emergent crabgrass control down before that crabgrass starts to germinate. Both warm and cool season grasses need attention this time of the year. You want to make sure you're using the right products on your lawn this time of the year.
Nothing beats a Fairway Green lawn. Put them to work on yours now. Go to fairwaygreen.com to request a free online estimate or call 919-329-0095.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Together live, I Prevail. Hailstorm. July 9th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. With special guests, Hollywood Undead and Fit for a King. On sale Friday at livenation.com. I Prevail, Hailstorm. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander with 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. And get ready, North Carolina, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is launching soon. And just in time for the biggest college basketball tournament of the year. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets just for signing up before March 11th. Just go to FanDuel.com/Paul and join today. Then you'll be set to bet when FanDuel is officially live. Soon, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams in all your favorite sports. From parlays to prop bets and boxing to basketball, FanDuel has it all. So head to FanDuel.com/Paul and sign up and lock in $100 in bonus bets right now. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Availability subject to regulatory approval. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Bonuses are issued in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 30 days after FanDuel accepts its first real money sports wager in North Carolina. Unique user identity verification required. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WREL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. A gloomy day out there, dodging the rain, and we have the clouds sticking around overnight tonight, and some more energy swings through. So scattered showers remain possible overnight tonight with a low of 52. We'll have mostly cloudy skies Thursday afternoon. It's a little bit milder with a high of 68.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 75 points to 38,661. Market update brought to you by NerdWallet. Don't make your future you hate you. Compare and find top credit cards, savings accounts, and more today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet, finance smarter.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The starting five here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As always, we start with number 5. Wake Forest is 0-3 since storming the court against Duke. They beat Duke, first of all. Stormed the court against Duke. It seemed to put them firmly on the correct side of the bubble. Like they jumped from on the bubble to off the bubble in the NCAA tournament. Since then, loss. I now think they're firmly off the bubble outside the NCAA tournament. I think I even said out loud, barring the wheels falling off, they've just made the NCAA tournament. And it's almost like they heard wheels falling off, and that's the only part they heard.
Let's go.
That's a sport. Sports psychology type of thing. You have some kind of history or background.
I have
in that,
a
right?
master's in that. Yes.
I've heard of this from sports psychologists on the golf course, that your brain doesn't hear the word "don't." So, like, if you're hitting it over the water and you're going, "Don't hit it in the water. Don't hit it in the water. Don't hit it in the water," your brain's just hearing "hit it in the water." So you should think, hit it on the green. Hit it on the green. Make good contact. Right? Hit it pure. I don't know if that's true. You would obviously know better than I would, but it's almost like Wake Forest was saying, don't let the wheels fall off. Don't let the wheels fall off. And their brain just heard, wheels falling off.
Let the wheels fall off. Here we go.
And it's tough because they had all of their goals at their fingertips, right? Would have been the first time making the tournament in a while. Would have been a big feather in the cap for Steve Forbes. Would have been a big moment for a bunch of transfers that came together to make a team. And to play like that, it's tough. Here's their head coach, Steve Forbes, on playing like that at this time of year.
Obviously a bad time of the year to play like this at home, when you have a lot riding on it. And we talked about it at halftime. After the way we played in the first half, I was like, guys, the NCAA tournament thing's on the line here. We got to play. We got to leave it out there. At least you got to go out there and you can't come in here and feel like you didn't empty your tank. They emptied their tank, and at the end, we had a set defense. Guy fell down. I really thought the game was over. And then, they get a jump ball out of it, throw it in, fake. We did a good job of guarding the guy coming around, the handoff, and the guy made a shot, man. And that's what happens when you don't respect the game early. In the first half, you don't play right.
You don't respect the game early. They were undefeated at home before last night.
Finally got him.
Georgia Tech. That's brutal for Wake Forest fans. That's brutal. Right? At least the one thing you get to hang your hat on is we play bad on the road, but we are the 86 Celtics at home. Right? Yeah, we play bad on the road, but we're the 96 Bulls. We play bad on the road, but we're the 96 Bulls at home, and then it's not true anymore. The thing you hung your hat on is no longer a hat rack. Can't do it anymore. Can't hang your hat there. They're outside the... And you know what? I think the ACC should be mad. We'll get to that part later. But I think the ACC, as a unit, should be mad at Wake Forest. I don't think, the Big 12 has a right to make fun of them, but, it's like, hey, you can't make fun of them. Only we can make fun of them. I think the rest of the ACC should be pretty upset with Wake. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the Four Horsemen. Woo!
It's Duke-UNC week. It's UNC at Duke week. It's triangle rivalry week.
Right? Battle of the Blues.
Battle of the Blues week. And now it is about, right, because now that UNC played last night, there's no games for either team between now and Saturday. So it is about preparation. I have a few things that I think these two teams should be doing in preparation for that particular rivalry game. And I'm going to bring them up right here, right now. You want Duke or UNC first? I'll make you pick so they can get mad at you.
Duke.
All right, Duke, I think they need to tell Caleb Foster to live in the training room. I think they need to get a cot out. They need to let him live there so every bit he can get ice and elevation and STEM and the electric stuff and massage and whatever he needs to do to get ready. I think that's one thing that they should work on. Second, they need to figure out how to defend Armando Bacot. Is it simple? I don't want to say it's simple. It's definitely not easy, but it is straightforward. Figure out how to defend Armando Bacot. It sounds weird, but Duke was kind of the get-right game for Armando. He was having a season. It wasn't a bad season by any stretch, but by Bacot's standards, it was a little underwhelming for the early part of the schedule, even with, R.J. Davis catching fire and at times carrying the team and Harrison Ingram playing so well and the team still being good. Bacot had some underwhelming games. And then against Duke, he put up 25, 10, and 5 and kind of stayed at that level for a while. Like, that got him going. So Duke has to make sure it doesn't happen again. And also Harrison Ingram had a big game against Duke last time. Another guy that has some size and can go down low and rebound for UNC. So post defense, Duke, figure it out. You want UNC now? UNC, I think they need to watch the last 4 or 5 games of Tyrese Proctor film. I'm talking more about the coaching staff here. Because last time they played, Tyrese Proctor had 2-3-2. He's been much better over the last 4 or 5 games. So just make sure you're not expecting 2-3-2 Tyrese Proctor. Don't expect 20-point Tyrese Proctor. But 12-7-4 Tyrese Proctor is something you need to be ready for and prepared for. And if you watch the tape of the time Duke and UNC played previous, you won't be ready for that. And also, and hear me out on this one, Carolina fans, I think Hubert Davis needs to be mean to his players this week. I think he needs to give them a common enemy, get them worked up. I've at times in my career described this as going full dodgeball. The movie Dodgeball with Milton from Office Space, where he plays better when he's angry. So Patches O'Houlihan, get angry out there. If you haven't seen Dodgeball, I promise all of that made sense. But it's essentially saying some teams play better angry. I'm not saying North Carolina is one of those teams that plays better angry. I'm just saying they feel kind of charmed recently. Right? They dominated the last game against Duke, so they're going to be riding high going into Cameron. They're coming off the best vibes possible on senior night, which was just a celebration of them, right? It was just senior night when you win by 30 is just kind of, a couple thousand people, a bunch of your family members, your old coach, your new coach, everybody getting together to go, you're awesome. And normally, head coaches do everything they can to get players to not listen to people saying they're awesome. Except on senior night, they participate in it, right? Armando Bacot, R.J. Davis walk off the floor, and Hubert Davis is giving him a big hug, and he's part of the whole "you're awesome" crowd. When normally head coaches are like, "Don't listen to it. The only opinions that matter are those in this locker room." On senior night, they're like, do you hear these thousands and thousands of people singing your praises? Look around. Take it in. And you mix that in with the fact that they have one up on Duke this year already, and it was handy victory sort of deal. And you mix that in with, and you clinched at least a share of the ACC title already. I think you need to bring them in, and you need to play one of the bad losses you had this year on film. You need to do the Belichick thing. Tell the truth Tuesdays or tell the truth Mondays, whatever it was, where you just bring up lowlights on film and call people out. I think you need to be mean. And I'm being half facetious. I'm being half sarcastic saying, be mean. I'm just saying make sure they have an edge going into this game, and it's not all gumdrops and unicorns and everybody's so happy. Fresh-baked cookies in the oven, the smell wafting through the house. Make them go fight for their food. Make them go hunt, not fresh-baked cookies in the oven. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3. Sometimes I go walking down one of those.
I'm like, where are we going with this one?
I'm walking down the side tangent, and it's that moment where you recognize I don't know what trail we're on, and I don't know how to get back home.
I'll hunt for cookies. That's let's go.
That's where we ended up. North Carolina has to make sure they're hunting and not just wafting in fresh baked cookies.
Just hunt for cookies.
There's a signing day update coming to college football.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Nicole Auerbach of The Athletic. She says a source confirmed to The Athletic, college football's December signing period will move up to the Wednesday before conference championship games.
Oh, wow.
It'll be 3 days long. This was officially approved by the CCA today. Why? Starting Wednesday of conference championships, there'll be a signing day open for 3 days. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with conference championships on Saturday. You're going to take coaches that need to be prepared to play a conference championship game on Saturday and have them catering to faxes from 17-year-olds and trying to focus on that side of things and scrambling when guys flip from their program and go to somewhere else or trying to flip recruits from other. Do you know what this is? Do you know who's the victim here?
Who?
The current college football players who now have a distracted coach trying to get them ready for a conference championship game. You know, the current student athletes who are supposed to be the focus of the whole deal. Can you imagine? Let's just we'll pick a school. Team with high expectations this year, NC State. If they make it to the first ACC championship under Dave Doran, right? They're a decade of trying, right? One of the longest tenured coaches in college football finally gets to an ACC championship game. And all it took was all this portal NIL deals, and all it took was the guys that stuck around that had options to leave in the portal. They all bought in. They make it to the ACC championship game. And on Wednesday, Dave Doran's like, yeah, you guys prep. I got to get the next class ready. And I know he won't do that, but it's going to kind of feel like he's being pulled in two directions. I hate this. This is where, and this is something I've advocated for in the past, you need like 20 college football players to not have the power to make any rules in college football. Okay, I don't want to give the former players like czar power.
Mm-hmm.
They need full veto power. They can't make rules, but they can look at anything and just like hit a buzzer and go, nope, not that one. Messing over the players. Nope, not that. Just full veto. They can't make rules. They can't tell anybody what to do. They just have put them in like a sports bar somewhere in the room that they reserve for fantasy football drafts in the back of like a Buffalo Wild Wings or something. Put them in there. Get them some wings and some whatevers, some finger foods, couple beers, and there's a buzzer on the wall. Like, you remember those Buffalo Wild Wings commercials? They used to have like the overtime button where they'd hit the button and it would extend. Just have that button available, and that's just veto. As soon as somebody starts talking about, let's take one of the bigger moments that takes all of the coaches' attention of the offseason, and let's put it 3 days before or 4 days before a conference championship game, and they're just like, yeah, all in favor of vetoing that? Aye. Not happening. There you go. Just hit the veto buzzer. Because that's a terrible idea. That is objectively a horrendous idea.
I can see why they want to have it sooner, because the transfer portal and all that, you want to know what your class is going to be coming in, so you know when guys go to the portal, what you have to hit. I could see that moving. I could see the reason why I'm moving it up. But I think that, if you want to move it up to just
that's good
like
for
earlier,
the coaches. That's good for the prospects.
Yeah.
That's good for the transfers. It's not good for the players playing in the game. And college football, at some point, has to be about playing football. At some point. Like, I know it's becoming like a 365-day sport. It's becoming like the NBA or the NFL, where even when they're not playing games, there's free agency and there's draft and there's trades and there's all these things. Like, I get that's what it's becoming, but the offseason can expand as far as the offseason. It can't encroach on the regular season. It can't encroach on conference championships. It has to be about the football. That's 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
NHL trade deadline. We are 45 and 45 minutes. 45 hours and 45 minutes away.
Look at you doing math.
I don't know why I do that to myself. Why do I
let you do it because it's funny.
I don't have to do that. I could have just said it's Friday at 3 in the afternoon and let everybody else do the math, but I choose to do on-air math, which has not worked out for me at times in the past. NHL trade deadline's going on. The Canes expected, I don't know if they're expected to be movers and shakers. They're expected to be in the conversations of movers and shakers, which obviously opens them up to a few different possibilities. One of which, Dennis, I know you can set up here some audio for us.
So this is actually Elliot Friedman, who's one of the insiders when it comes to the NHL, kind of similar to like an Adam Schefter or Jonathan Jones, something along those lines. But here's him talking about how looks like Carolina Hurricanes, they're linked to Jake Gensel from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here's Elliot Friedman actually earlier today.
I'm looking at Carolina, and the reason I'm looking at Carolina is they have good prospects. If you've listened to Kyle Dubas talk, he wants players who are close to the NHL. Now, historically, Carolina has not done rentals. Vegas has made a trade. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but they've made a trade. Florida's made a trade. Vancouver's in there. I'm kind of under the impression that Vancouver isn't sure that they can win this race. I feel the same way for Edmonton, and I do think Pittsburgh wants to get this done today, but nothing is done until it's done. So I think I shouldn't say a lot, I think some people here are waiting to see on how Carolina feels. Do they decide that this is the rental they go for?
It seems like everybody except the Canes has accepted that Gensel is the guy for the Canes. Craig Wyshynski, ESPN reporter, tweeted this out earlier, and I love this beginning. Parentheses, pure speculation, close parentheses. Like, not reporting anything here, just connecting dots and reading tea leaves. This comes from Wyshynski. I don't know how the Hurricanes don't ante up huge for Gensel. It's like he was created in a lab for them. And then you hear Friedman. Everyone's waiting on Carolina. I think I'd be excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm the reason why I just is because I don't think Carolina's going to do it. I think I would like for them to do it. I think it's a move that shows they're pushing maybe not all their chip stack, but a decent amount into the middle of the table. I think it's a player that fills kind of exactly what they're looking for. But also you have to realize the Canes over the years, this has been a move that they don't make. This type of move is a move they don't make.
So Darren Dreger, who's of the Carolina, not the Carolina, talking about the Carolina Panthers, or I guess you could say that the asking price that it would take for the Pittsburgh Penguins to trade Gensel to a Carolina Panthers or someone else. Darren Dreger, who works for TSN, which is like the equivalent of ESPN up in Canada. Sources say that the Penguins are hoping to have a trade in place for Gensel by tonight, Wednesday night. Pittsburgh is open to quality over quantity in return, but would like a first, young NHL player plus prospects. Flexibility comes in on the caliber of prospect or roster player. So maybe that's what they're just discussing right now. It's like, all right, let's figure out what prospects you're willing to give up. And, all right, if we're going to give up this prospect, you're also going to kick a pick our way. So just they might be just trying to figure all that out right now.
Young player is tough for the Canes.
Yeah, well, young player is tough for the Canes. But never know. You might hear breaking news during Canes Corner tonight when Mike Maniscalco is talking to Mike Bunting.
How would that be?
That'd be awesome. Hey, by the way.
As a player, Bunting has to just be like looking at Waddell going, just wait, because your live reaction being on radio is tough. right? Whenever there's like a media scrum and someone's like, what do you think of the trade? And they're like, what trade? Yeah. I feel bad for the player. It's awesome for us as media. It's an awesome clip. I hope it happens during Kane's Corner. But I do always feel bad when they're like, what? Huh? So-and-so got traded? Where? For who? And I'm always like, ooh, buddy, don't smile because that's messed up to your teammate that's leaving. Don't get mad because that's messed up for your teammate that's coming. Don't be too shocked or too like you got to kind of play it close to your vest. But yes, you're right. Kane's Corner is tonight. Mike Bunting, the guest. You can hear it right here, 99.9 The Fan. It'll be a fun one. It'll be an interesting one. Trade deadline. They must really trust Bunting, by the way. Putting a media guy or a player to the media with the deadline, less than 48 hours away. Not even going to do the math. That's pretty good. The Drive with Tim Donnelly needs to get to number 1 of the starting 5. Let's do it.
Go one!
Number 1. Numero uno. UNC Senior Night. I'm calling it the UNC Senior Night Extravaganza because it did feel like almost a pep rally, didn't it? It felt like Midnight Madness a little bit. Remember when Midnight Madness was a thing?
Yeah, I missed those.
They were fun. But it felt like that a little bit, didn't it? They brought in Notre Dame just to get beat by 35, and then the celebration started. They needed Michael Jordan there to tell everybody that the ceiling was the roof. It was one of those nights. Hugs all around, pictures being taken. This is the way that I think it shows how light and airy the game was. Armando Bacot took 2 threes. Armando Bacot hit 2 threes. He made 2 threes. Armando Bacot, the joke is, has been at North Carolina since the Reagan administration. He came into the game with 3 made threes in his career. By the end of senior night, he had 5. That is very much like, let me try this. That's like all-star game stuff, right? But it worked out. They won by a bunch. They won the game. They send everybody into their last Dean Dome experience on the court as a player, as a winner. Not all of them, but 7 seniors. And then they get to go play Duke on the road. I think that their schedule kind of it's pretty exciting for them down the stretch, right? Now you get to just gear up for the tournament, right? Every game from this point on, it's us against the world. That's what you think. That's what the players think, right? That's like your, I don't know why this is what pops into my brain. I covered, this is how you show where I paid my dues early in my career. I used to do 3 days of 12-hour consecutive nonstop coverage of state wrestling in the state of Nebraska. We'd go do the high school state wrestling tournaments, and it was 3 days, 12 straight hours. I had 2 former coaches, one on either side of me, and I was just the traffic cop. Like, we go over to mat 9 where so-and-so from so-and-so school is wrestling for the 106 third place. Oh, back over to mat 10, and they're doing all like he's got the chicken whizzer locked up on him. I don't know all the terms. That was not my role. But they used to do the big send-off, right? You'd get on the bus, the team bus, and you were driving out of your small town, and everyone would line the side of the road out of town, and they'd, go get them, bring back the championship. North Carolina kind of got that at senior night, right? All right, you're leaving Chapel Hill. It's your last game at home. Yeah, go into Durham, get that win, and then go win the ACC tournament in D.C., and then, bring that tournament trophy back. They got that moment, like it's high school again. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
I know we mentioned earlier about how there's Kane's Corner and all that stuff tonight. The Carolina Hurricanes are going to be back in action, and I want someone who's a massive Canes fan to be rolling up to postseason games later on this year in a custom Hurricanes Harley-Davidson motorcycle, and that can actually happen. Very simple. Just got to go to caniacsbike.com. Dennis Cox here, my friends over at Law Tigers. The Law Tigers, Tobacco Road, Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes. They're all teaming up together to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's an absolutely gorgeous bike. It's brand new, and Ashley at Shiny Side Paint did a phenomenal job painting this bike up. If you actually just head over to Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, you can actually see the bike for yourself. It's on South Saunders Street right here here in Raleigh. But if you want to win it, go to caniacsbike.com because on April 5th, the bike's going to be given away live on the ice at the game at PNC Arena on April 5th. Go to caniacsbike.com for your chance to win the 3rd annual Caniacs Bike. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
We need numbers game contestants here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly. The tickets that you can win if you win the numbers game, NASCAR Cookout 400 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia on April 7th. We need 2 contestants to play with the NASCAR tickets on the line. If you want to play, call in right now, 919-860-5326. No pressure, but everyone that's called in and played this week has gotten at least 3, and we had a perfect score. So if you want to play, bring your A game. 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
If you can't have a polite and civil exchange with someone when you're getting your coffee, you need time in social jail. You need to serve maybe 30 minutes, an hour. This needs to be on your record. We need to have different records that are attached to us as humans. One of them needs to be, can you behave correctly in public?
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets packed $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is the time of year to enjoy life, isn't it? Everything's starting to bloom. Well, stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Adam Gold here, and this is a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk and run and climb and play and do anything you want pain-free. No pain pills, no surgery, all natural solutions. Live your best life this spring and summer. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 919-400-5473. 919-400-5473. 4 locations: Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. QC Kinetics.
The Body Armor State Games are coming to Charlotte this June. Registration is open to athletes of all ages and skill levels in 25 different sports. The Body Armor State Games feature 13,000 athletes and 700 teams. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Visit bodyarmorstategames.org today. The Body Armor State Games are proud to partner with Truist, Harris Teeter, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Want to score points with your boss? Recruit RoofWorks to your building maintenance team to handle your commercial roofing needs. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We've helped hundreds of Triangle businesses with their commercial roof maintenance, repairs, and if necessary, total replacements. Our pros come to your site, assess your roofing needs, and then give you a range of options to fit your budget. And we'd love to work with you. For roof maintenance and repair, contact us today at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Bobby Joe absolutely hated her job.
Can't hate that job any more than I do.
So, time for one of those fancy tech schools?
No, I could never afford that. I'm going to Sharky's.
Sharky's?
Yeah, no better place to relax. Great food, cold beer, good whiskey, darts, billiards.
So now you love your job?
No, I still hate my job, but I loves me some Sharky's. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody loves Sharky's. Sharky's Place, one of the best neighborhood bars in the world. 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. As always, we have an awesome prize on the line. This, Martinsville Speedway, Cookout 400 tickets. NASCAR, obviously. So, the way this works is I'm going to ask a question of each of the contestants. We'll pick which one has the best answer. They'll go first. We'll play a game. One of them will get the tickets to the NASCAR event. The winner will. Yesterday, we asked a question that I thought was funny. It was about their ability to land a plane in the emergency situation, hypothetically, if it popped up. So I'm going to ask another question about your blind confidence in something. Kevin and Mebin, you're up first. We're giving away tickets to a NASCAR event. If we picked, I would say, 50 random people, put them on Martinsville Speedway in the high-powered cars, are you winning the race?
Hell yeah.
What? Give us some explanation. Give us some why.
I'm gonna run you over.
All right, I'm going to run you over. We'll go to Sam and Raleigh. 50 random people put on the Martinsville Speedway with the high-powered cars. Are you coming out victorious?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
I just, I don't. Random people, I mean, I would give a fight, but I'd be much more likely to cause an accident than actually win.
All right, yours is probably more accurate and more self-aware, but I like Kevin's answer better. So Kevin gets to go first, but Sam, sit on the line. You'll have your chance to win the tickets. Kevin, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, here are the categories that you get to choose from. NFL initials, all players whose first names are initials. NFL Special K, that's all players whose last name starts with K. NBA under 35, that's all players whose jersey number is 35 or under. And NHL Canes and Whalers only.
Oh, my God. NFL initials.
All right, NFL initials. Like I said, these are all players whose first names are initials. I'll give you the jersey number, I'll give you the name and the jersey number. What am I doing here? I'll give you the name and the team. You give me the jersey number. I'm all discombobulated. I'll give you the name and the team. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. I say this literally every day, twice a day. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
No, I'm good.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. DJ Moore, Chicago Bears.
10.
Incorrect. CJ Stroud, Houston Texans.
7.
Correct. JJ Watt, Houston Texans.
99.
Correct. EJ Manuel, Buffalo Bills. EJ Manuel, Buffalo Bills. Time is up. I have to say that might have been the least confident 2 we've ever gotten. Getting multiples is solid. I wouldn't say it's great, but we've had people go over. You didn't sound very confident during it, but you walked away getting C.J. Stroud correct, number 7, J.J. Watt correct, number 99. The two you missed, D.J. Moore, number 2, and E.J. Manuel, number 3 with the Bills. So sit on the line. We'll see if 2 holds up. By way of going first, you will win any ties. That brings us to, I forget who went first, Sam and Raleigh, right? Sam and Raleigh, are you there?
Yes, and I already got one right with Dennis earlier, by the way.
Oh, during he showed you how the game
on
went?
the sample one. I say Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls, because it's an obvious one.
All right, well, these will probably be more difficult than Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, that was very sarcastic. I'm sorry.
You're good. Go ahead and pick your category, though. NFL Special K, NBA under 35, or NHL Canes and Whalers only?
I am going to do the NFL.
NFL Special K. All of these names have a last name that starts with K. You have 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass. I'll give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number. Any last second clarifications you need?
No, sir.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs.
87.
Correct. Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints.
God. 44?
Incorrect. Bernie Kosar, Cleveland Browns.
12.
Incorrect. Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints.
41.
Correct. Christian Kirk, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Christian Kirk. Pass.
Javon Curse, Tennessee Titans.
God, I should know that.
I'll tell you.
Terrible.
You got to, unfortunately, tie goes to whoever goes first. But this was a group that was shaky in their confidence. I felt like they were accusing me of, like, every time I gave one, they're like, why would you do that? Oh, man. No.
I'll confess, I did it because my wife's a huge NASCAR fan.
Oh, you're going for it. Well, because you didn't win, you can try again. Call back in tomorrow or Friday. We'll have the NASCAR tickets to give away for the rest of the week, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that goes to so the win goes to Kevin and Mebane. Kevin, are you there? Kevin? Should I go full Home Alone here? Kevin!
Hello?
Kevin, you're the winner. Are you? Well, all right, sit on the line. Maybe Dennis can get you to talk. There's some information we need from you to get you the tickets, but Kevin is the winner. I'm just going to say it. That was a very strange numbers game. I stumbled through the rules, which I never do. I stumbled through the rules, which I never do. They were all over the place. The confidence wasn't there that we normally have from contestants, and then on top of that, the winner wasn't even there to talk to. But Kevin is going to a NASCAR race, which is always an exciting deal. So enjoy the race, Kevin. Right now, I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm here for DraftKings, calling all North Carolina sports fans. Soon enough, DraftKings Sportsbook will be live right here in North Carolina. Starting March 11th, you'll be able to bet on all your favorite sports. Hockey, right? We're an underrated hockey town. That's what I keep telling people. College basketball, it's not underrated. Everybody knows what we are when it comes to a college basketball town. NFL, NBA, the biggest sports, the smallest sports. You can bet on it all. DraftKings Sportsbook coming March 11th. And to celebrate, new customers who download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today using code TIMD, T-I-M-D with no spaces, will score up to $300 in bonus bets when you place a $5 bet once they're live. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code TIMD, no spaces, to get up to $300 in bonus bets once mobile sports betting goes live. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, coming soon to North Carolina on March 11th with code TIMD, no spaces, TIMD. The crown, it can be yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only, new customers only, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Maximum $300 in bonus bets, not available for use until March 11th, 2024. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit, wagering, and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with a conversation that was made much, much, much more complicated by Wake Forest losing a whole bunch of games down the stretch. Who's in, who's out, NCAA tournament, ACC edition coming up.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, like people who want flexible payment options. Take Corey. When his old car insurance wouldn't extend his payment date, do you think he stopped driving and started speed walking? No. He found Direct Auto and now pays in person with a local agent when it's convenient for him. And you can too. Get a free quote at a store near you. Direct Auto. Stop compromising. Keep driving. Terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, it's me, your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Ugh. Should've compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
Get Spectrum One with Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $49.99 a month. Plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card up to $500. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Get ready for spring at Westlake Ace with the best brands like Steel, Ego, Scotts, and more. Right now, select Steel products are up to $60 off. And don't forget, Ace Rewards members save money every season. This month, 20-pound bags of Ace Birdseed are just $11. Visit our 2 new locations at the corner of Rogers Lane and New Bern Avenue, or on Leesville Road in Pinecrest Point. Westlake Ace Hardware now has 5 convenient locations in Raleigh.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, everything for the exterior of your home. Do you have a favorite?
I have a favorite, yeah.
I want to hear
it. So windows, doors are my favorite products. The reason why is because we are the best at installing them. You know, there's 1,000 different types of windows on the market, doors on the market, different people installing them, different companies. I don't care how good a window you get. If it's not installed properly, it's not going to do you a bit of good. I always tell people, if you buy a submarine window, the best one in the world, and you have me put it on a submarine, you don't want to get in that submarine.
I don't want to get in the submarine either way.
I hear you. So anyway, so that's the thing I say. So it's really important that you have things installed properly. We've been around since 1961. We've got a 4.9 out of 5-star Google review ratings, over 800 reviews. Give us a call. We'll come out and give you a free no obligation estimate.
It's the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online at aluminumcompany.com.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Life is too short to live with foot, knee, or back pain. Schedule an appointment for help at goodfeet.com. Wake Forest, 0-3 since storming the court against Duke. I believe that's also knocked them into a category that I would say most of the ACC is in, which is you have one more piece of ammunition to get yourself in the NCAA tournament, and it's to go on a run and win the ACC tournament. The only way you get in the big dance is to win the ACC dance. And that's unfortunate for Wake Forest because going back not that long ago, once they beat Duke, I was counting them, right? I'm always doing the conference game. Oh, the Big 12 is going to get this many. The SEC is going to get this many. The Big 10 is going to get this many. Not because I like that game, but because I know it's going to be used against us. I know that there will be people out there saying, oh, Big Ten basketball is so much better than the ACC because of this discrepancy in tournament teams, and they'll completely ignore that once you get in the tournament, the ACC teams on average win so many more games and outperform their seeds and go so much further. So I'm paying attention because I'm trying to get ahead of that argument, and I penciled Wake into the dance. I was like, oh, look at this. They played their way off the bubble. They beat Duke, a top 10 team, to get off the bubble. Then they lost 3 straight, and their bubble was burst. And now we have to have the conversation on how many actually get into the ACC or from the ACC into the NCAA tournament. Now let's operate under this assumption. Duke or UNC wins the ACC.
Okay.
We're talking tournament here.
Yep. I mean, they're locks in, but yes.
So there's no like surprise. I'm going to predict that whoever wins the ACC tournament gets into the NCAA tournament.
Not like no Louisville making a run here.
Yes. If there's something magic, there's something magic. I'll enjoy it. I'll watch it. It'll be entertaining. But let's assume it's Duke or UNC. Who else gets in? Duke's in, UNC's in, Duke's in. Those are stone-cold lead pipe blocks. Who else gets in?
Clemson.
Clemson was shaky, and they did beat Syracuse last night, which was important. I think they might need to win one more game. Other than that, UVA is falling.
Ironically, they're at Wake Forest.
Yeah, that would be the Wake Forest of the Wake Forestiest thing you could possibly do.
That would be the most
would be
Forest
play
thing.
your way out of the bubble and out of the NCAA tournament, and then just start spoiling everybody else's bid to make it in the NCAA tournament. Here, I mean, let's. How many are even possibilities? Clemson, obvious possibility. UVA, obvious possibility. Pitt, obvious possibility. Syracuse? Wake Forest with 2 good wins in the ACC tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. That's not that many teams. That's not enough. That's a problem. And part of it is the ACC is a bit cannibalistic, right? They don't stack their non-conference schedule like the Big 12, so they don't come into the conference play where everybody is a high net ranking team. So whether you win or lose, you're just kind of passing around the net rankings, like, hey, you take some of these, we'll take some from them, and then you just beat each other in a round robin style until everybody is still kind of where they began. Because they didn't do that, losses hurt a lot. And you're going to lose games in the ACC simply because it's a meat grinder. And, you know, on any given night, Georgia Tech can beat you. On any given night, Syracuse can beat you. And it's a tough schedule. So because you didn't game the system, you've kind of round-robined yourself into a hole. So, yes, it is a bit cannibalistic. You did eat each other a little bit. But, man, some opportunistic wins, I think would have set them off. There's been like 3 or 4 of these bubble teams, if they would have just won 5 games straight against teams that they're better than, we wouldn't even be having this debate. UVA's lost some bad games. If they would have just went on a nice little 6-game win streak in the middle of their conference schedule, we wouldn't even be having this debate. They'd be in. We'd be talking like maybe they're a 6 seed. Same with Wake Forest. If Wake Forest took care of business on the road, in between taking care of business at home, they would have had a nice streak. They'd be in. We'd be talking if they're a 6 seed. Instead, 0-3 since storming the court against Duke. Absolutely no sense for the moment. Absolutely no sense for the stakes. Showing up flat against Georgia Tech, going down 14 at half. It's not good. Not good in the least. And the worst part is, maybe not the worst part, but like, if you watch the ACC, yesterday we did a copper drop. Dennis, what was it? You put 5.5, right?
I think I put it at 4.5.
Like it's
they'll get 5 in.
You watch ACC basketball, you're still thinking like 5 or 6. It might be 3. And I railed against that, right? When the bracketologists have spoken this into existence. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
They did it.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it kind of is, because like the polls and the rankings and everything, here the bracketologists say they're no good. So then when you lose to somebody and that you've been told is no good, that knocks you down. And it's a spiral. Conspiracy theory. Let me put my tinfoil hat on and go blame the bracketologists. Public enemy number 1 in ACC country, Joe Lunardi. I don't know what we can do about that, but maybe
not a thing.
A couple comments on Twitter, well placed. You know, quote my grandma, gonna write a strongly worded letter. Strong words wouldn't even be that strong. You should be ashamed. Like, that's the strong words she was using. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Right now, text keyword FAN, F-A-N, to 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win tickets to see I Prevail and Hailstorm with special guests Hollywood Undead and Fit for a King at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on July 9th. Again, that is keyword FAN to 919-860-5326. Someone in the office, fan of some of these bands, playing some Hollywood Dead music around the cubicles earlier today.
Yeah.
They're an interesting vibe, man.
Oh, yeah?
Not what I expected. Interesting vibe from Hollywood Undead. If you're fascinated, you want to win tickets, 919-860-5326, text keyword FAN.
Hey, everyone out there is a fan. By the way, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Capital Buy Sell Trade. Everyone's a fan of, something, your favorite sports team, your favorite school, whatever it might be. And a great way to show off your fandom as well as an extension of your personality, it's with your sneakers. It's with your shoes. It's what you wear, right? That's why we wear jerseys and hats and scarves and hoodies and all that stuff, showing off our personality. And part of our personality is our fandom. And that's where Capital Buy Sell Trade comes in. They're located on Glenwood Avenue, right here in Raleigh, right by Crabtree. I love shoes. I have a passion for it. I have a passion for fashion and everything that it can do in terms of, again, showing off your personality. It's an extension of who you are. This is how you show people, or one way, this is who I am as a person. This is what I do. This is what I like. This is what I enjoy. Whether it's from sports, movies, comic books, you name it, and your sneakers can help do that as well. I have a pair of Bart Simpson. They're literally called the Bart Simpson Nike SB Dunks. I have a pair of those. And you know why? I'm a big fan of The Simpsons, and I also like shoes. So guess what? Those two things pair together perfectly. You can do those kinds of things with your shoes at Capital Buy Sell Trade. Follow them on Instagram at CapitalBST919. When you swing through there, let them know that Dennis sent you.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan coming to a close, but luckily more college basketball talk, specifically a reaction to last night's UNC Senior Night extravaganza is coming up to start. Overdrive. It's conversation involving Armando Bacot, the three-point shooter, which is an interesting sentence to say out loud, and much, much more. UNC Senior Night last night, big win, setting them up for the Duke game later this week. Enjoy that conversation as part of Overdrive on 99.9 The Fan, coming up next.
The Canes Corner Radio Show, presented by Storm Brew, returns to Backyard Bistro this Wednesday night at 7. The show will be hosted by play-by-play voice for your Carolina Hurricanes, Mike Maniscalco, with special guest Michael Bunting. That's this Wednesday night at 7 at Backyard Bistro, just across from PNC Arena. Come join us. It's the perfect way to get you ready for the Canes' run in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's Wednesday night at 7 at Backyard Bistro. Listen to it on 99.9 The Fan or watch it online at WRALSportsFan.com.
Hey y'all, Dylan at Oak City Customs here. Warm weather is right around the corner and it's about time to enjoy your backyard or outdoor entertainment space. At Oak City Customs, we offer a wide variety of items for outdoor living, including pergolas, shade sails, fire pits, and outdoor bar areas. In addition to dining room tables and other items for the inside of your home, we would love to make your vision for your outdoor space a reality this season. Come visit us at our showroom in Zebulon or check us out at oakcitycustoms.com.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
The best thing about pollen? It's temporary. Just like the Autobell Car Wash Pollen Pass. Enjoy 3 months of unlimited car washes. Get your pass today and save at any Autobell. And when the pollen ends, so does your plan.
People can tell we knew Autobell.
Set a reminder for March 11th because that's when you can turn $10 into $100 of bonus bets with Bet365. Just download the app, deposit $10, and claim $100 in bonus bets when they go live March 11th. Sounds good, right? At Bet365, they don't do ordinary, and you're about to find out why, North Carolina. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. T's and C's apply.
We want to invite you to Atlantic Spas and Billiards to bring more relaxation, wellness, and fun to your home. Sit in a hot tub from Hot Spring or Caldera, relax in a hot sauna from Finleo, or swim in our showroom in our endless pool. We have a fully stocked game room showroom with darts, ping pong, foosball, air hockey, pool tables, and more. Everything we sell for your home, from hot tubs to grills, from saunas to pool tables, promotes relaxation, wellness, and fun. Atlantic Spas and Billiards on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh and Market Street in Wilmington, AtlanticSBNZ.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, Tim Donnelly here, and I want to tell you about my friend Coach Pete and everyone over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Coach Pete is passionate about helping guide you through retirement, and after 3 decades in the financial arena, he is still building customized and total retirement playbooks. In fact, he recently told me about the game-changing strategy behind a successful and total retirement plan. Just like the game of football, you want to gain yards as you advance the ball down the field on offense and have a defensive strategy in place to protect yourself. Bottom line, you don't want to lose your gains. You don't have to. Depend on the market to lock in your gains. With this blueprint, you can be sure to keep those gains. A strategy that Wall Street tries to keep from you, but Coach Pete is passionate about helping folks build their retirement with this very strategy. The team at Capital Financial care about getting you not only to retirement, but through retirement. Call 800-691-3215 or text TIM to 600-700. Again, that's 800-691-3215 or text TIM to 600-700.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness
Go to GotBrian.com.